Hey guys, how's it going? So, today I wanted to play some more roguelikes, just because we haven't played one on the channel in a little bit, and they're always like super near and dear to my heart. I love this genre of game. And I was considering going with like my comfort game, maybe Binding of Isaac, or Across the Obelisk since I've been playing it recently. But I thought it'd be fun to play some Hades. We actually did all of my first attempts on this game, and I was playing it a bit recently. And I'm actually pretty close to getting a lot of the core achievements done. So, off the top of my head, I know I'm missing, in terms of Steam achievements, 9 Well of Charon attempts because I just don't usually think that you need to buy that many. There's 2 Skelly prizes that you get for beating 8 and 16 Heat, which is where I think I shot myself in the foot a little bit, because I have pretty much always tried to do my weapons at least semi-evenly for the rewards. But I think you kind of want to main 1 or 2 weapons to get up to that high of a heat, or just play a ton. But, oh, I was about to say, we're about to see the epilogue. I thought I had to invite 1 or 2 more gods. It looks like we can just go and maybe see that. Maybe we have to do a run or 2. Afterwards, though, I know I have, like, get 30% damage bonus. I think it's damage bonus with the butterfly, max every keepsake, like a couple prophecies. I don't think every prophecy on this list counts as a Steam achievement because I'm only missing like 6. But I know that Hades 2 is meant to come out sometime later this year, and I'm super excited for that. I want to say it's Q2, but I know dates can change and whatnot. But I think the protagonist is not going to be Zagreus here. I think I've heard it's a new female protagonist, and the only other thing I've heard is that potentially Apollo will be a playable god. Oh, one sec, I just dropped something. Okay, there we go. um, I'm really excited to see how that pans out. I don't know if they're going to make every single god have a boon, if it'll be a larger scope, how similar it will be, but I have to imagine that game will be pretty good.
State your purpose.
It looks like I can't report to them, so maybe we have to do a run first. That's fine. Oh, I just got hypnosed to the seat.
In case you change your mind.
But while I can't remember exactly what we had on stream before I was playing by myself, I do believe I remember we won our first attempt on like 16 to 18, I want to say, somewhere in that range. Maybe a little lower or higher, which is pretty average. I want to say there are some people that were crazy good at this game, and it's been out for long enough too that people have beat it on like the highest heats. But overall, I was doing most of my weapons pretty evenly, but I think if I were to main 1 or 2 weapons, I did get all the hidden aspects. I've really enjoyed the Adamant Rail always. I think people say they really like these 2. I just really like the laser beam. And then I actually think my favorite weapon though by far is the Aspect of Arthur for this sword. Just because the damage multiplier on it, for some reason, is just so high. It's actually kind of crazy. This thing hurts so much. You get the extra base 50 life total too, which I found either means that you end up with really high value on your attacks, or sorry, on your max HP, or you can just go super greedy if the opportunity is presented to you and just not focus on it. I haven't upgraded it too much though because I don't believe it does a whole lot. But for the other weapons, this one, I was really excited for the Aspect of Guan Yu, and I hate it. I hate it a lot, actually. Not a huge fan of the spear. The shield you can do some fun stuff with. With the Aspect of Beowulf, I believe people have said the other aspects are a little bit better at high heat. But you can basically load up all of your casts and then do a charged attack and just obliterate anything. But I could see how with the scaling on enemies that wouldn't be so good later on. The bow is just... I mean, some of the aspects can kind of help, like the shared suffering. Or you can do the same thing actually with the cast. But I feel like it just struggles with crowd control and the fast-paced nature of some of the boss fights. And then the gauntlets I've always been kind of meh on. But let's maybe try and do our Heat 8 run, since it looks like the last time I cleared on this run, it was with 7. So we'll see. I have a few perks that I prefer. I will say, I have not leveled up my keepsakes evenly. On this sword, I've really been a big fan of going Artemis and Aphrodite. I believe they have a dual blessing that helps increase the weak... It's a like maybe crit damage effects on weak allies. When we first started, I remember I really heavily invested into Aphrodite perks because the weak effect was nice and the multiplier is really high, which is something that did hold up over time. But this weapon in particular, I think, makes the crit effect super potent just because you have that already high base damage. As far as what I've been doing, extreme measures, I've been going up to 3. On the Furies, I believe that gives you the kind of mixed having multiple at a time. On the Hydra, it messes with the arena, which is obnoxious. And then it gives, like, completely different phases to Theseus and the Minotaur. I have not actually seen what it does with Hades, but at this point in my heat gain, it would be overkill. As far as other things we can add, bonus damage is probably fine because we start with so much HP. I've always worried about the tight deadline, but I don't actually think that's often a huge issue at 9 minutes specifically, but later on I could see it being a problem. The traps and I don't get along, because in Asphodel I always run over lava, and it's not good. But what could we add? No. Trying to think here. Extra numbers would be fine. Let's give this a try. I may fail horribly, but this is probably my favorite weapon in the game just because it's such a good stat stick.
You are not missing much. Here we have warmth and wealth, stability. Up there, nothing of
It's kind of interesting, though, as time went on, how Hades' character kind of progressed.
It's nice to visit anyhow.
And once, you know, we're trying to sell the whole what actually happened so Demeter doesn't kill everyone. Alright, what have we got? I'm actually a really big fan of Breaching Slash. Piercing Wave can give you some extra range, but the ability to one-tap armor is just so good. Here we go. Okay, that's fine. We have a couple alter chances, but I'm pretty sure there's a pool, so I don't think you can alter, like, a key, for example, into, like, a blessing, which kind of stinks, but... The thing with this weapon is that third swing right there does so much damage, and sometimes you can prep it right before you get in range, and it just obliterates enemies. Here's our Artemis Blessing. I actually, to this day, do not know if you take the keepsake that guarantees your first blessing will be them, and then take another choice, if it will, just continue modifying blessings to be, like, Artemis here. But, specifically on this weapon, you really want basic attack, crit. Super helpful when it crits. It's some of the highest damage I've seen in this game. And we didn't get it. I'm actually gonna try Dash Strike here. That is a bit unfortunate, though, because I do think more than anything that is probably the most important blessing on this weapon. You can definitely get away with some other ones. While I was exploring all the dual blessings, because I think the only two I'm missing still are... It's 2 cast blessings in combination with Demeter. I want to say it's Ares and Poseidon. But you can do some funny things. Like, there's a Ares Poseidon dash combo you can do that just... You basically just dash around over and over, and you slam enemies into walls. Pretty funny. There we go. But you get all these extra little quality of life things too. Like, you get the extra Death Defies that you don't have at the start. When I pick up Darkness, I get like 5, you know, max HP. Like, it is a roguelike for sure, but it definitely is nicer to you as the game goes on. Although I do know there is a trait that you can put on that deactivates your, like, Mirror of Night perks, which hurts a lot, because those are very powerful. It's basically just returning you to the starting state of the game, which is crazy to think. I've considered actually starting a brand new playthrough to see how I would fare, but I feel like it would not go very well. Alright, what do we got? A Zeus perk. I'm going to try and reroll this into one of our preferred perks. It might not happen. Okay, it didn't. See, I feel like I almost want to go for money. I'm not afraid of the elite, but I feel like the only way that this is I don't really want Festive Fog. I definitely don't want the main attacks. It's like, the hangover effects I can't apply super often with either of these. So maybe I'd look for Dionysus Call. That does stink to use all 5 rerolls, though, and not get what we were looking for. But just getting money, I think, is never a bad thing. It gives you some ability to make it through things. I will say, it might be similar to games like Slay the Spire or Arknight's IS-3, where at higher difficulties you can't get away. This is not the endgame shop. You always are guaranteed to shop right before the Furies. So unless you have a huge excess of money, I don't go for the early one. Because this only gives me 5 max HP, but I don't know. You could go for the shop there, though. The damage reduction in the aura here, too, is nice. I have found, though, it's really easy to cancel that slam down for some reason. And it really does want to give us a Dionysus blessing. Let's hope it gives us the call, then. It's not my favorite call, but I don't think I can use any other blessing. And once you overwrite one of those blessings, like your main 4, or, yeah, 4, I guess, I don't think the call can be overwritten. It's really hard to get the game to give you what you want afterwards. Oh, I did not move in time. That is one downside to this weapon, though. It's all the effects, partially, I think, because it hits so hard. They take a long time to go through. And this is exactly what I was worried about. I think we'll take the Trippy Shot. It gives us some extra interruption. But so far our perks aren't working with us too well. But I find that when I take the most damage, it's when I'm committing to an attack that I probably shouldn't have committed to. Because I want to play this game like a hack and slash, right? But in reality, it's very much a roguelike. Like, you have to be very careful and measured in how you play. Oh, I got grabbed. That's not good. Woo! You're not the cleanest so far. I'm definitely not the guy that goes no-hit. I'll tell you that much. Alright, what do we got here? I'm not gonna go for that. I think when you're first playing out on a save file, it's nice to get all of the extra things like gems. And I still am missing a lot of things with gems, but I usually nowadays only go for it if it's money or maybe health. Okay, Dionysus. I really wanted to show off the crit damage build here. So I'm almost tempted to restart this run. But I don't know, I'm not much of one for doing that. I was much worse about doing that in Across the Obelisk, where my overall win rate in that game is like super low, because when I was trying to unlock everything possible, I was literally restarting runs after like the first or second zone to get certain encounters. But yeah, this just isn't going to be helpful. It's going to take too long to apply. Let's take After Party. And here, because I don't feel like we have blessings that I really want to... I mean, they're not bad, but still just not the best. The Fountain's always nice. There are some really good Dionysus perks as well. This should be the last shop before our first boss. Hermes and Aphrodite. Okay. At this point... Oh, they're all common. I'm going to take the special here. And... Try this. The problem now is I don't think this blessing guarantees another Artemis one at the beginning of each floor. So I want to switch off that, but we might be forced to take a different basic attack, which isn't the end of the world. Maybe I'd go for like Ares Doom or something, but I definitely do not want Dionysus on this particular weapon. I'm not too sad to be fighting. Oh, I messed up. You can't use your companion summon on this fight if you're using Megs. I have all of them now. But, yeah, we'll see. I don't think Electo's usually the worst to fight, I say as I take damage again. I feel like the worst of the Furies is probably Tisiphone. But I do wonder how other people feel about that, because I feel like that's just the fight that I take the most damage in. Oh. Okay, there's a rage. Ow! This is why I can't have 400% damage traps. Oh, she is mad. But you can see how fast, like, I don't have any modifiers on my basic attacks, and that was still a pretty fast fight, all things considered.
See you later.
There we go, we got some gems. What's nice, actually, is if you're redoing a run, you get a little bit of darkness, which gives you a little bit of max HP on those fights. But for us to already be at 190 is just crazy, because this weapon starts you at such a high base HP.
Could try a different.
We didn't get to see, where is he? Sisyphus and, Boldy. Boldy you can give some, nectar to, and it'll give you a little buff. It's really funny, actually. I'm debating. I used to go really greedy and just take some extra money on Asphodel. I actually think maybe what I'll do is go Palm Blossom for the floor. And then I usually go Acorn on the last two if I'm worried about taking damage. I'm not going to do the Well of Charon thing.
Nowhere to go but up.
That'll probably just be like a zero heat run that I just run through and spend all of my money on the wells. It's like I think like over half of people on Steam have that achievement. I just never did it because it was never necessary. More max HP. If I had a reroll, I think max HP can reroll into a boon. But I do know like the darkness gems and stuff, I'm pretty sure always roll into each other. But I am curious too, for 16 for the second Skelly prize, what are your options? Like, what can you not take, I should say? Because I would imagine max heat is just everything possible at max levels, but I'm not sure. They might have a cap to it. Yeah, Asphodel's got about 1 billion just ways to take. Lava damage, residual damage. I think it's actually the worst on... Oh, I mean, look at that. One thing I actually could have taken was the Keepsake that buffs your damage if you don't have a boon active. However, I don't have that leveled. And I still feel like you would much rather have a boon. We need to move. Okay. I think if you're trying to get Thanatos to appear, what you actually do is you take a little bit of lava damage, like 1 tick every single time. Because Thanatos... I was reading a article on it online about like how to get him to spawn because he was the last keepsake I was missing. And they said you specifically had to, like, he appears or has a much higher chance to appear if you've taken damage a bunch of chambers in a row. So you take like 2 ticking damage on the lava a few runs in a row and he'll just show up. Which is fair. At that point, if you're taking a bunch of damage, you probably are not having a good time. But there are some blessings that I've gotten, you know, over time that I haven't valued as highly as we did when we first started. I really highly valued, I remember, Dash Deflect from Athena. And nowadays, I very rarely go for that. It's not bad, but it's just not my first worry. Let's go for the key. I believe I get a reroll off that. If we don't see Artemis, I think some of my better options are Aphrodite. Poseidon has a pretty high multiplier. Oh, it's this thing. Okay. Yeah, you can imagine if we had the... Artemis doesn't have a super high multiplier on her attack at base, but the crit works really well, and then again, that duo synergy with Aphrodite is what makes it really powerful. Because then you're applying weak and doing more damage with crit. But that's part of the fun in roguelikes too. You can't always slam the exact same build and have it appear to you. Yeah, let's go with Aphrodite. I could reroll the Zeus to see if it works with me, but yeah. I do believe it's heavily weighted towards, you know, things you're already invested in. Okay, we have the duo here. I think it's a little bit easier to deal with the pillar first, if you can bait it. Ow, I just got petrified. But at the same time, the Medusa is always available to hit, so... I don't know. The pillar is just very predictable, and if you're getting in the face of the Medusa, sometimes you get stunned. Not bad. Alright, if it offers me a blue or higher basic attack, I'll probably take it. Ugh. See, the problem with this call is it only does damage if you have it at max gauge. So I'll take the 72% multiplier. We're just going to give up on the Artemis synergy this run. Because it's just so unlikely, even if we got her now, it would overwrite our basic attack. Which makes sense, right? If it was always offering you the ability to overwrite what you have, it'd lower the potential options you have to get something new. And I'm not using my cast as much as I should be. Usually when I have Dionysus cast, I'm using it to either apply things, because there's a lot of really good dual boons with it, or I am using it to interrupt enemies. Let's just try and deal with everything else before the pillar. Why did it slam over there? Nice, okay.
Feeling good.
Is this money? Oh, it's money. Let's do it.
Wretches, take him now.
What have we got? Okay. Where'd you go? Nice. That was a pass clear. I mean, those quick elite fights are a lot easier on this weapon than with other ones. Like, if I was using the bow, that would have been pretty miserable. I'm actually going to go for the pomegranate here, because we need to start leveling up our basic attack. Because that's what we're primarily going to rely on. Yeah, you can see, even with just the multiplier, like, when you have backstab multiplier plus crit with that build, the amount of damage you can pump with just that third swing is nuts. Blows my mind every single time. But that's one of the builds I probably wouldn't have figured out, because as far as I knew, there were very few modifiers to crit damage, so I'd rather just have the higher consistent damage. We did not get... That's awkward. Let's take, well... I think the dash strike's still worth it. Let's go max HP. You wouldn't think it with just starting with 50 extra base max HP, but I have so many runs on this weapon where I end up with just a crazy amount. But here we go, this is learning. This fight's always a bit of an interesting one.
Let me hiss once if you think you're going to lose.
I feel like the really dangerous part on this fight is the second Hydra head phase. Ow! Ironically, you'd think this fight would be easier. I don't think it's too bad with the rail. But you would think this fight would be, like, much easier. Oh, no. I'm really bad about that on this arena. Because this, ordinarily, it's, like, a complete landmass when you're doing, not the boss modifier. Which makes it so much easier to deal with everything. But this weapon in particular, once you start a swing animation, if I'm just in the lava, usually doesn't go too well. But let's try and break the armor of a few heads here, and then slam down our companion summon. I'm also really bad about not using that as much as you can. You actually could not use companions against Hades, or at least most of them, to my knowledge. You couldn't use Megs until recently on my runs where he gave us permission to, which is kind of funny. And I just realized we have a good cast for dealing with the Hydra heads, and I didn't use it. That's awkward. Okay. Lerny's down, though. Not too much damage. Not clean, but my runs in this game usually aren't.
That's what you get.
Alright, let's get moving. I'm scared to see what it'll happen if you buff the Hades fight, because the buff on
Which one?
Theseus and the Minotaur is horrifying. It's actually so scary.
Courtesy of the pact.
Let's see, I'm surprised we didn't get a Chaos Portal offered to us. That happens a lot on the first floor, and I almost always take it. So we have a reroll opportunity, or a random blessing gets leveled up. We really don't have a huge quantity of blessings. I think it's also very common for you to get a second Hephaestus hammer on this floor. I wonder if we'll actually get to see what Hephaestus looks in this art style in Hades 2. Like, there's so much to be looking forward to there. Like, it's one of the roguelikes that I'm definitely looking forward to the most that I know of.
Easy.
I think someone mentioned way back when, it might have been Huts, said that they're like Edmund McGolan. I'm not good at pronouncing names. Might be making Isaac 2 one day, which would be super cool. I'd love to see that. We have a huge excess of money, but you also have to keep in mind if we don't die to Theseus and the Minotaur, there's a massive shop down there that you'll almost never be able to buy out. And we'll get a shop on this floor too at some point. It is greedy though. Max HP is more immediate strength. Oh, that's not good. I have wondered though if the does it say you take 400% damage from traps or traps deal 400% damage? Because that's a pretty important distinction. But I think I just get to, even in roguelikes, I get a little bit too, like, I find too much comfort in my old ways and then I don't try new things. Like I do almost the exact same heat modifiers on each weapon. But, let's see. Can I steal from Charon? You can fight Charon if you rob him. I'll take the call, sure.
Violence.
I don't know if it's worth it to level up this, because it is the blue version of the perk. We have 5% on Dash Strike, a flat 42 on Fog, and this is only 6, but it is ticking damage. We'll try it. I don't mind this call. It's one of the calls like Athena that give you that safety. Poseidon's does as well, but sometimes I just don't react fast enough to realize that I need to do it. I do think the Festive Fog, though, is a pretty good cast when you're playing a melee weapon that doesn't have any other options. Because it sometimes just allows you to take care of enemies from far away and interrupt them. This is a big no for me. I've tried this. You just don't attack fast enough with this weapon for it to feel worth it. I guess we could take Supernova. None of those were really the ones I was hoping to see. So I don't know if I have anything available for duo boons here. I wonder if we're fighting Minotaur here. Or if we're fighting... There's like the big butterfly ball. One other. What could we possibly get? So we could get the, I believe, Nectar gives you bonus max life would be decent. Hades? I don't know what Hades... Let's try Hades. Oh, there was a chest there. Oops. It is Minotaur. So, yeah, so Theseus and the Minotaur have armor. And then they do wildly different things. The big thing with the Minotaur is that you cannot just get right behind him. Ow, ow. I wasn't even trying to there. When it does the slam, instead of doing the 2 little energy shockwaves, you just can't be close. And he does this. I still think, as always, the way to go, let's just do this, is to blast the Minotaur first, though. But if you aren't careful and you get both to half health... Oh, I didn't think that would hit me. But you just can't go in close for a couple quick backstabs like you used to be able to. I'm losing more health than I would like, but to be honest, it's pretty likely that I use a Death to Fight on this encounter. I want to use my call until he goes in the next phase. There it is. But part of the reason why I think it's easier to focus the Minotaur is even if the Minotaur is sometimes... Both of them are fairly predictable. At base form, I think it's just easier to deal with the thing in your face, ow, than the guy that's literally blocking your attacks from the start, or from the front. Oh, I hit that. This is what I'm talking about, though. I need to be quicker with the, with that, because I could have saved myself a couple of these hits. It's why I just can't use Athena Call. Because I'll never get it down in time. But, as you can see, Asterius is a little bit harder to deal with. I actually think Theseus is much harder to deal with. But I still think that this is such a high value thing to take because it only affects one boss fight, you know? Excalibur. So we could switch to this. Doom isn't bad. Just don't know if I care. we could do 22% area or pull foes in. Does that really apply to my call? They both probably do. Let's take the wider area.
This means war.
Hey, we get to see one of the events. We might actually get to see... Yeah, here we go.
Hello, lad.
I got these two to be able to hang out again. Same thing with Eurydice and Orpheus. As well as, Sisyphus is free, but he decided to stay.
Isn't the ward of...
I reached more or less.
How about you just keep offering?
Alright.
That I had...
So, we can take bonus damage, which is nice. Especially, again, given what weapon we're using. Or I could go with the safe option for healing. And then this just restores Death Defy. I feel like I almost never have Death Defy use until Theseus and the Minotaur. I think let's go with the safe option. Because this fight, like, you could argue the safe option is to kill them faster. But it's such a problem. I never count quite correctly, but if I can get into that Chaos Portal, I'm not sure it'll be completed before the boss fight. And I would really prefer not to go into this boss fight with a Chaos modifier. I feel like that would end poorly. Not all of them are super terrible, but a lot of them are disruptive. Oh boy. Okay. I do feel like a lot of the enemies, as you get later on too, are meant just to chip damage. Like, they're not going to kill you. Like, these butterflies are a perfect example. You're not likely to die to them. But if they knock off, you know, 20, 30 health on you, eventually that will be a huge problem. Right, there we go. Little more max HP. You know what? I'm down for a Hermes boon. On the last floor, especially, Side Hustle is super nice. You just get a ton of free money for no reason. I feel like I could use traps better on this floor, because there's so many. One thing I am really bad about is backing into the walls with statues on them that just throw spears at you. I thought I would hit that. But, eh. It's funny, though, because when we first started, right, the runs were taking like 40 minutes. Then for a long time while I was doing my normal clears, they'd take like 10, 15. Maybe 20. And then you get all the modifiers that make enemies have more health, or have more damage and everything. Or more enemies spawn is another pretty common one. That it starts taking a long time to do a run again. Just comes full circle. Mute Hermes next time? He won't mind. He can keep talking, that's fine. It's only like a couple sentences. Quick recoveries. I feel like I panic spam dash a lot, and 40% back is nice. Versus sturdy, 30% less. Try this. I usually, when it's comparisons like that, I just think about how likely I am to use each one. The extra little burst of speed is nice.
Always a pleasure,
Oh.
Kieran.
I mean, that really makes me think we should be saving for Greater Call. Let's upgrade our attack multiplier. I'm still a little bummed that we couldn't get the Artemis one, but that's okay. And here he goes. You know what's really funny? Is someone mentions that this mask was just made to be worn by vain fools. And when you make fun of it, Theseus gets really mad. Oh, that's one of my deflects. So Theseus runs around the outside during his first phase. The second phase is still pretty similar. Oh, stop, stop. Okay, there we go. His second phase is still pretty similar, but he'll run through the middle occasionally. I think the point is to kind of lower the amount of room you have to get around some of the Minotaur's wider AoE now. Oh, I just took a resist down. I am really bad about getting hit by dumb stuff. It is worth noting too, when Theseus runs down the middle, he can obliterate your resists. Oh no, Minotaur! Oh. This is not good. That's my last resist. Minotaur's in second phase at least. I maybe could be a little more aggressive with my damage dealing on... Ow! On the Minotaur. So I really need to get that third attack and do the big damage. Don't spin. Okay. Woo! Yeah, that attack right there destroys your acorns, I swear. And I try not to do too much damage to Theseus while I'm still fighting the Minotaur, because a lose condition for this fight is definitely to let them both go into Al third phase. Or, sorry, second phase. Not the best as multitasking. Oh, I didn't know he was attacking. Alright, come on, Minotaur, go down. I need you to go down right now. Oh! Oh, I missed. Oh, and then I got hit by that. Alright, we got it. Not a great clear. Luckily, I think Theseus is pretty easy to deal in this phase once the Minotaur's gone. As long as you don't get in the way of that. Or get hit by a bomb. Sometimes if you get a little bit further enough ahead, too, you can just kind of... But yeah, let's save Greater Call for second phase. Especially now that we have that legendary boon. That should be a hefty chunk of DPS. You want to get off your chariot? Theseus? Maybe I could have used a Greater Call early, geez. Did that too early. Alright, we're just gonna sit here. If it doesn't kill him, it'll bring him... Nope. That's interesting. It's nice to see that damage. I do wonder how much that would have done without the legendary boon.
I'll take it.
But on to Hades.
Guess I'll be going then.
It'll most likely be a successful run.
Oh, I didn't see you.
Fingers crossed.
One last stop.
It is very easy to take massive amounts of damage, though, towards the end here. Especially if you get, like, poisoned for too long. But you do get the well.
Ground floor.
I always have to remind myself to double check for golden pots because I always miss them.
Something I
Hermes
can
Blessing
use.
could be nice.
I'll take this one.
Weak effects are more potent. You know what? We have weak on our basic attack. Probably worth it.
Good enough to eat.
With the rift. I was really hoping to get some pomegranates here for my basic attack, but the game is not agreeing with us here. Let's go for the max HP. This is actually not even close to the amount I generally have on these Excalibur runs, funnily enough. It just kind of tends to depend on when the game forces you to take HP versus something else, and if you can reroll. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, the cast being good for.
Can't.
The interrupt on that so I could get close was nice. This is where the armor comes into play. Alright. I am hoping we'll get to see the epilogue, though, once we finish this run. It did just say report to Hades and Persephone. But I think in these rooms is all about minimizing damage taken. Okay, so it wasn't in this one. I have no idea if there's actually some way to tell, in, like, any consistent way. I guess I could have looked it up. That's the way to tell. You know, like, where the dog treat could be. Because for a while I thought, oh, it's probably just in one of the elite rooms, but it's definitely not. If I need to, I can use my Meg Call to get through this. I believe I still have... I think I've only used it once. I didn't use it during the Theseus fight because I forgot. So I believe we have, like, what? A total of 5 uses, I want to say, because it's max level. I hate these little guys so much. I got stuck on the wall. That's tragic. Oh, and then I got poisoned. Yeah, see, we hadn't taken, like, any residual damage because we heal 3 per room until this one, and now we're just getting deleted. And by that, I mean we've lost, like, 30 health. But it stacks up. Because if you don't have the, I believe it's a Dionysus perk, you don't heal to full after taking the fountain.
What do we have?
Not too bad, though. Could have been worse. We could either go straight for a pomegranate or go for the money to buy a pomegranate. That big swing is just so satisfying. It really is just easy to get hit while you're doing that, though. I don't want to go over there. It'd probably be faster to go over there, but... like... huh. There we go. I was gonna say, surely it'll move closer to the edge here in a second. There we go. I'm wondering how much of a difference the dash strike increase is helping. Because I feel like that's definitely not what I usually prioritize, but you do spend a lot of time in this game dashing.
Can't do that.
It'd be very convenient if this was the treat. Perfect.
Fast this time.
I could go for something else to be greedy, but I just don't think it's necessary. I think we can win.
Get out of here.
Because in all essentiality, right, I think we have the plus 20 damage. Oh my goodness, we just never got the basic attack again. Yeah, why not?
The monsters
I think aside from the extra, like, 20% damage, this is just a normal Hades fight. You know?
Thanks, boy.
I am genuinely terrified, though. Because it's such a high heat multiplier for buffing the last boss. Because we got, like, plus 3 or something like that for Theseus and the Minotaur. What would Hades even do?
I don't think I'll ever get accustomed to the breeze.
The blade of the
Okay. Oh, I thought I already used a resist. This to me feels almost like what you need to do in a Souls fight, hilariously enough, because the dash has always been like that same idea. But it reminds me of just one of those fights where you need to be patient and minimize your damage. And if you ever get backed in a corner, just don't panic. And time your dash. I think it's also important to know that you don't need to get every single one of those skulls. You just have to dodge. I didn't do a good job of that there, but just going for the dodge sometimes is the better call. Because it does hurt a lot. Once your resists are timed out, getting hit by those skulls and getting hit by the wave does a lot of damage. Ow. Okay, we're down 2 resists. It's frustrating, though, with stuff like that, because I know I could dodge it. I mistimed it. Which, hilariously enough, is just like the Souls games. Ooh, I didn't think that was going to hit. Okay. At least we're timing that pretty well. Oh, I panicked. You can't just spam dash, like... I did it like 2 or 3 times in a row there, and then I panicked that last time, and... yeah, just like that. It is sometimes a little difficult, I feel, to get down your... oh.
destroy my kin and an eternal
Sometimes I do think it's a little bit difficult to get down your...
Help with something, Father?
your Q field.
There's my shield.
There, I went for it and took my last resist off. That's fine. We still have all 3 of our deaths defied. You have to consider... oh. Although, once the snowball effect starts to hit... not good. What I will probably save my Greater Call for is once he does the flame attack. Because if you aren't careful, he'll go immune. Oh my goodness. And using it at this point in the fight would be a waste. Yeah, I'm losing control of this fight though, jeez. I'm just not playing well. I feel like once I start to take damage, I feel so confident when I have the acorn up, and then I lose it and I start just playing more and more sloppy. But that's the luxury you're afforded once you have all the death defieds. Alright, here we go. See how much this does. Not bad. It's like almost half. Ooh. Don't do that. No! Oh, oh! Alright, first priority is probably to get rid of some of these. Just create a nice zone for yourself, you know? Because if he does the flame attack and you're caught with a couple of these, you're gonna take a lot of damage. I did not even know there was one of those over there. But I feel like when you have a call like Ares, you kind of hit a point of critical mass where here, I could probably just take infinite damage. Not infinite, right? But I could take damage until I have call up. Spam call and win. Not always a viable option, but just from the amount of energy we get back just from taking damage, it'd be pretty much impossible for us to lose. Unless I went AFK. But here we got it. Nice. Not the cleanest of runs, but we didn't lose a death defied, and we didn't have the build we were exactly going for. So I'll take it. I actually don't think I've failed a run with this particular one. Apparently I have done 9? Oh, I did 9 with the rail. So I should actually have Skelly's first prize unlocked. That's interesting. I didn't think I did. Maybe you're supposed to go pick it up somewhere.
Prince would doubtless find that death still comes in a variety of different forms. One of the most common, yet perhaps least interesting, involves simply waiting long enough until... no.
Where's Agris? But I do like the way they integrated story into this game while also, like, you see it every run. Like with Isaac, you really only see it in the intro to the game, and then on endings. Whereas here, it's just kind of neat. As far as characters I need to continue to romance, one for Nyx, it looks like Hypnos. I don't know what the condition is for some of these characters still. One more in Thanatos. He took forever to spawn. We did Meg on stream way back when. Poseidon, I believe I have to catch a certain number of fish and a legendary fish, which I don't know if I've actually done. Aphrodite, you have to finish the romances with Dusa, Meg, and Thanatos. I don't know about Artemis. And Demeter, I believe, is after the epilogue. Luckily, you only have to do a certain number of them to get the epilogue done. So, oh, here we go.
Zagreus.
It's done, Mother. Father.
Excellent, Zagreus. Congratulate him, Hades, on a job well done.
Persephone, how can you be so...
All we had to do was give invitations. What could we have possibly messed up?
It's known as trust, Hades. Or faith. They're similar. Try one sometime.
This might not be too loud on stream, but they have good voice acting. I don't usually turn my in-game volume up too loud for stream. I know some people have it about equal volume to themselves.
Dionysus alone shall bring ruin to this place.
I don't know, with where my settings are right now too, if I have it too loud, it blows out my eardrums and it doesn't even sound that loud on stream.
Yes, good.
So that's probably me needing to mess around with sound settings.
So why don't we call everyone on staff and let them in on this and dole out suitable responsibilities, all right?
All right.
I think this has to be just the full epilogue then. Unless there's another step.
Thus did all of Olympus...
I thought I had like another 3 gods to invite, but I'll take it.
all together for the very first
Okay.
time.
Zeus,
The
Poseidon.
Queen Persephone revealed herself in all her splendor, much to their surprise.
So they specifically say, I think, that she eloped with Hades, which is a lie.
Eloped with
I mean,
Hades,
if you followed
she said,
mythology, it's
mothering a fire-stepping
not
prince
the
who
truth,
wished to
but
reconnect with his extended family.
I don't know. I think you should always be truthful, but sometimes a little white lie can genuinely spare someone, you know?
And reach out for his and everybody's sake. The Olympians listened to all this in stunned silence.
Zeus begins to laugh.
Zeus himself.
It's interesting too because when you think about the conversations, I don't think Zagreus really said like, "Oh, I'm trying to escape the like." When they first helped him, I can't remember him saying stuff like that.
I say, big brother, you and your better half put on a positively smashing night.
And to be fair,
Literally for all of us,
with like Greek mythology, it makes sense that they don't get along.
to as noble of a son.
Some violent mythology.
Well, little brother, the Queen and I, in turn, appreciate you all taking time out of your doubtless busy lives to come all this distance to my house. I'm certain it is very modest in comparison to Mount Olympus, but I trust that you were suitably entertained.
I don't know, like,
Of course,
I just really love like Greek and Roman mythology. I've been reading Record of Ragnarok. It's such a cool series. I know people have said because of the format it's becoming more predictable and kind of repetitive, but I think that's kind of the point. It's just a bunch of really flashy fights between historical figures and, you know, different gods of different mythologies.
Fully satisfied.
Super fun.
As for the house of Hades,
Thorough cleansing.
thorough cleansing from the rafters to the floor. Such revelry, of course, is unbecoming of the name of Hades and the fearsome.
If mortals were to have no fear of death. Eh.
For if mortals were
One thing that always got me though was that Elysium had like such
to have no fear,
down-looking enemies, like the shield bearers and the archers and stuff. Because Elysium's meant to be like paradise. You went to paradise and you still had to fight like random people. I feel like that. Maybe for like warriors, right? But I wouldn't like that.
I'd say that went about as well as could have
Yeah.
been expected. And the cleanup wasn't all
I think now actually I've heard random gods from Olympus might appear down here, but I don't know for
Zeus
certain.
seemed to catch on right away and went along with it.
Oh.
But this whole elaborate tale you spun, I remember how hurt I felt when I found out Father lied to me about you.
You know, funnily enough,
Now we're lying to Olympus.
I
What if they find out?
mean, I'm just a really small, like, streamer, right, and YouTuber, but the epilogue music to
I may
this
not be an
game
expert,
was the only time
but
I
come to understand about how
I got,
things
it wasn't a strike or even a warning, but it was just like, hey, this is copyrighted music.
is. How
It was a good song, though,
is
like,
even more important than the words we use.
really good song. It was a song, I believe, of Orpheus singing along with Eurydice
This.
as we rode the boat for the first time with Persephone coming back.
You're saying they all
Um,
knew you weren't being
so good.
honest and went along with it anyway. I guess the pomegranate
I just
thing
don't usually
really
play
was
music
a
on
bit
stream because I
stretch.
don't want to get in trouble, but I think, there's definitely playlists that you can do. Like, I listen to a lot of Nefx, and I believe almost all of that music, like,
We want peace. Besides,
I think it's something like, it's a bit complicated, but I believe you can use it in streams.
That elaborate tale. It's less a
Hmm.
deception and more a concession.
Yeah.
A way of saying
And this is kind of what I was
we can
talking
move on
about.
from the past.
You know, it's always good to tell the truth, but
No hard feelings.
sometimes you just need to move forward.
You don't have hard feelings. What about Father? What about Demeter?
Yeah, Demeter might be the one that's
Well,
really
let's
upset.
see. My hard feelings are nothing next to the joy of having my son
Hmm.
in my life. Your father never imagined
So
this relationship
surprisingly
would be
wholesome.
what
It
has
really
been.
does make me wonder what the story with Hades 2 will be.
She's
Because if it
decided
follows the
not
similar
to.
format, which I'd be fine with, you know, as long as they made some innovations, some changes.
Worse for him. I get the
Um,
sense he acts a bit impulsively at times and deals with
but
things
if it's not
in a way-
Zagreus as the protagonist, I'm wondering, is it another child of Hades? We know
What can I tell you?
it's kind of funny to reference like Percy Jackson, right? But we know in mythology a lot of times there were a lot of
We're
demigods,
stuck with one another.
or a lot of children of the gods.
Let any of us
Could it be
not
someone
show
related
the
to
slightest.
Hades once again? Could
It's
it
a
be,
wonder and a
I've wondered,
lesson.
like an actual prisoner trying to escape? Not like Zagreus trying to just reach the surface, but actually just
I'll
like
be heading out again soon.
trapped and trying to leave. And I'm excited to see what combinations of gods we have. Because off the top of my head, the only one I know that should be there, I should say, is people have said Apollo.
Sounds good. I'll see you then.
Let's see if I can... 4, wow, okay.
Dusa, I was thinking that this batch of ambrosia to hold the...
You said your affection.
Yeah, Nyx did kind of tell Dusa she needs to stay away from Zagreus.
Pleased you. Yo,
Wait.
I did indeed. And I'm...
Wow. I never thought you'd. have those kinds
Deuce
of
is nice.
feelings for somebody like me.
What? No, Deuce, of course not. Oh, why is it so damn difficult to share one's feelings with somebody
Yeah.
else?
I didn't see that.
I was just checking. Don't feel bad, okay? You don't seem capable of hiding what's in.
See you soon.
So, spoiler alert on that. Oh, we finished. I'm pretty sure that Dusa and Zagreus end up just being friends, which is still wholesome. And I believe you can end up being in a relationship with both Thanatos and Meg, which is the most, like,
Here's the catch of the day.
Greek mythology thing I could think of.
Seems fair enough.
But I'm curious if we'll see random Olympian gods here. But yeah, just over stuff I did off stream since we last played. You know, I unlocked all the stuff. I progressed heat. To help these guys, you basically gave them a bunch of the ambrosia or nectar to increase their friendship, and then it depended because Achilles couldn't do it first. But like, for example, with Orpheus first, you'd eventually promise to find a way to reunite them, and then you got the ability to use some resources to break their contract. Same thing with Sisyphus, and now there's just a chance they're together. Same thing as what we saw with Achilles and Patroclus.
Something I've meant to say to you.
Oh, then the three fates are whimsical indeed.
Well, I mean every word. I love you, Nyx.
I like Nyx too.
I love you too, my child.
Because Nyx has been there. Oh, there's the bond forged. Because Nyx has been there their entire time for Zagreus, you know?
Relatives at last, child. Athena, Ares, and the rest. Confronted face to face, they were much more agreeable than I expected. A night we shall remember, was it not?
Oh. So she apparently hadn't met them before.
Memorable night it was indeed.
That's
Nyx.
interesting.
For most of us, at least. Dionysus, he won't remember any of it, I don't think. But it was really good to see everyone having a good time. Getting along as though they didn't hold a grudge.
Persephone told them everything they needed to hear. Sometimes
Well, let's enjoy it while it does, I guess.
Yeah.
a sound idea.
It's Greek mythology. I wouldn't be surprised if they started arguing again later down the line.
I guess this came to pass.
20 Gs. I don't think my Steam achievements show on stream, but I just got an achievement for the epilogue. So what else have we got? Getting the other boons for them. Legendary boons, I don't know who these are. I mean, I can kind of look at who it's not. I think second wave has to be Poseidon. Bad news might be Hermes. Because I'm assuming this is in order of what they normally list. Top is obviously Zeus. Protection's Athena. Bottom's Demeter. It probably is Hermes if I had to guess. But I'm not sure. Greater Recall, maybe. Chaos Boons. We're missing 2. Flurry Slash. So I don't think you can get Flurry Slash on the aspect of Arthur. Or Excalibur. Or whichever one it is. But also I think the other aspects of the blade kind of stink. Quick Spin. I just don't like the... Like, my least favorite weapons are the bow and the spear. The gauntlet I'm kind of meh on. The shield I like... I like a decent amount. And then my favorite two are the gun and the... Only the aspect of Arthur, though. Each of the various goods sometimes offered. I mean, I just don't mess with the Well of Charon because a lot of times it hasn't felt necessary. But I could imagine at extremely high heat it being helpful. Oh, okay. So you have to complete a run with all the different perks because there's alternate perks. And I just usually don't. Okay, that makes sense. That's the one I was talking about for Poseidon. Learn to play the lyre you're supposed to keep doing. Did I get all the duobrons? Wait, did I? Am I crazy? I didn't think I'd gone back through... I don't see it here. I thought I was still missing a couple, but maybe I did go back. I think to learn to play the lyre, you literally just supposed to, like, click this a few times in between runs and then talk to Orpheus. It sounds a lot better than when I first started doing it, though. Not bad. Let's do a couple more runs today, though. I don't know if it'll be a super long stream, but I just wanted to play a little bit of this today on stream.
The Queen Persephone, she is your mother.
Well, It all
Yeah.
started when my father saw her on Olympus, and
He
they
swept
fell
her off her
madly in
feet and
love.
brought her here.
He
That's
swept her off her feet and brought her here.
a nice way to put it.
The Queen's mother on Olympus, the great goddess.
Oh, that. Thing is, Mother ate some pomegranate seeds when she was here, and we have rules about that stuff, you know.
So is
She
that
cannot leave this
their
place for very long
take
at all.
on
I'm sure Demeter will understand, and unfreeze everything when
So I
Demeter's
wonder if that's their
around.
take. I didn't quite understand that on the pomegranates, because in mythology, right, he tricked her, she ate the pomegranates, and she could never leave, but we know she was living on the surface for a long time.
Pomegranate seeds, of course, of course.
That was like a big part of the point of us trying to leave the underworld. And we saw that the entire place was covered in snow
You're not trying to escape from here?
the first few times we met her.
Forget about me, Orpheus.
Eh.
This isn't about me, it's about Mother. What's important is she's here where she belongs.
If she's happy.
I see.
And I mean, I'm a sucker for happy endings.
Same goes for me.
And I would say that's still generally one. The work orders. So you can get themes. How many? I have 37. Kind of cool, though, that they introduced a bunch of things. Like, these are one thing. But the work orders, they give you things to really work towards that are just massive investments. And then for a long time, I was exchanging all my stuff for nectars and ambrosia. To be honest, at this point, I think the highest value might be Titan Blood until we max out
Titan blood.
our weapon aspects. You don't necessarily have to have everyone maxed out, right? But it's nice to have the options. Let's see about that Skelly prize, because apparently... Oh!
Yes.
I'll level with you, pal. You haven't
Let me guess. They want me to fight all the way through the underworld.
That's crazy.
We're talking something really big.
Yes, a little bit, if you must
Is
know.
it? Hacked challenge revealed. What?
Hey, you did it, pal.
What I get.
Oh.
Huzzah! Sure you had it in your pal. Enjoying the new prize. Pack the punishment, smack the punishment. No problem. Know what I mean? Of course, that was just the easy one you got there. But I got that one myself.
Wait, just so I understand, I literally
That is-
toiled through hell
That
and
is not what I was expecting that to be.
Don't get me wrong, it's lovely. It's just I don't know what I expected.
I don't know what I expected either, Zagreus. That's really funny.
There was a little mix-up when we put in the request for that thing, see?
Oh my, the other ones.
expectations
Are these just going to be 2 more? I'm curious. So I know this one's like even higher than 16. I just don't know if, I don't think they're, like, it's one of those weird things that, like, with the Binding of Isaac, if you have Dead God, it shows you have completed Steam achievements, but you can still go 3 million%. Which I still haven't done. I'm only at 1 million. But, I don't think there's one for the 3rd Skelly prize. Let's see. 30% Butterfly, Max All Standard Keepsakes, Reach the Epilogue we just did, Dark Reflection. Yeah, it only has 2 Skelly prizes. What's Dark Reflection?
That's one more prophecy fulfilled.
Here it is. Oh, okay. Yeah, that would not be very hard. I'd basically just flip everything and then do a 0 heat run.
You must have had yourself a real...
It
Oh, we're talking about the party.
Oh, don't you even worry about me.
Good for me, Lion.
same
Yeah.
here.
You know, for the sake of spicing things up and not doing the exact same thing, though, let's run Exegriff, and then maybe we'll do a shield run. So it does ramp up. I've been a big fan of getting the infinite ammo Hephaestus hammer, though. Because you don't ramp up, but you have infinite ammo, which I think still just feels better.
Let me see you now for what you truly are.
Apparently I've gone to 9 heat on this. That's interesting. As far as builds go, I think with this weapon, with the ticking damage, Artemis's firing random arrows is really nice. For the main attack, there's a few things I've tried. Obviously, multipliers are always nice. I've actually been a big fan of going for the Frost build with Demeter, sorry. Because you can stack up to 10 stacks pretty fast on a ticking weapon. And then you can get the perk that also just makes it burst upon getting that many. But we have to go to 10. I'm really curious. Let's try it. There's a very solid chance that we die, because I have no idea what this does with Hades, and there's 2 Hades phases. But it's literally just the 4 bosses will have
Let's see what happens.
more difficulty here. There's a very high chance we lose, though. Because I actually have no idea.
It's Lady Demeter.
Let's see what she has to say.
My little sprout.
My grandson.
Young Zagreus.
Yeah.
My grandson.
Kore.
I can scarce believe it still. To think that Kore, or Persephone,
Yeah.
she had been with foster brother Hades.
I don't know if I would have approved my child being with Hades either. That is absolutely fair. I actually don't mind this. So the special on this weapon is you do this. It's another one that I feel like you just want those high multipliers or just a one-time effect. Like a high Doom level can be fun. But you don't want something that's like super reliant on taking damage. Like you can actually go, as another good example, if I don't go the Frost build, I could go for a Dionysus build. As always though, my big problem with the gun is I forget to reload. Ooh. The tough thing here is we're not guaranteed to get... Let's do it.
Let me have it.
We're not guaranteed to get consecutive Demeter blessings. In fact, out of the Chaos Realm, I think you do get... Is it one choice? I feel like out of the Chaos Realms, a lot of times I don't get what I need. Minus move speed, gain a cast. That's not terrible. I'm gonna take this. We already are missing a chunk of health. So as long as we're careful, after 3 encounters, we'll have a much higher chance for better boons, which is nice. We just have to be extremely careful. I don't even think the laser beam is meant to be like the strongest thing. I just really like it. I mean, come on, it's a laser beam. Sometimes it can be awkward hitting that special, though. I will say, kind of obnoxious. And I guess we're getting a buff on... I mean, I could re-roll it. Do I want a buff on special?
Let's try this instead.
No. Fine. Sometimes having a boon is better than not having a boon, for sure. But early on in a run, I feel like you can be greedy. And... Zeus's perks aren't bad. They're really good crowd control. I just... not feeling it right now. I believe there's a specific shield build that uses Zeus pretty heavily. Might be worth it for me to take a look at this.
Let's see.
Yeah, sure. Because we lose this in one chamber. With this particular weapon, though, I mean, the bosses are going to be a worry. I'm not super worried about the Hydra because you can use your special to pretty good effect to AoE the heads. I am, however, very worried about being able to get the room to use my attack. I'm an idiot. Getting the room to work with on Theseus and the Minotaur is hard. Oh, perfect. It might not offer it to me, but you'll see if we get it. Super nice. Use my cast. I'm really bad about not using my cast as often as I should. If I get into a bad spot, we'll maybe summon Meg. I just get really greedy with my Chthonic companion, and then I never use it anywhere near enough. I mean, we actually... Did we even use it against Hades last time either? I think I forgot. So I think we only used it against the Hydras.
I have to say, I've had a pretty decent time with everybody at our little visit recently. Met you, Uncle Hades, even great Achilles. Still don't quite appreciate you tricking us, but I can get over it eventually. Anyway, you still could use assistance from me, right?
That's good, because we still technically did lie and trick them. Okay, we didn't get it. I'm not totally against Artemis's aid. Let's take it. It's an epic call. A lot of times you don't even get that early. We didn't have a call until Theseus, right before Theseus last run, right? Alright, let's see how this goes. I do really like the setup you can do, but that is a perfect example of what happens with that special. I'm trying to shoot it to get the AoE off, and I'm just hitting the enemies instead. I didn't mean to step on that. But this is the worry with this weapon, and the bow, to be fair. Just making sure that you can buy enough space. I like it I ran into that trap, again. I like the fact that you can kind of buy the space you need. with the ranged weapons. It's just that sometimes that crowd control really hurts. Oh, we just have to survive. I was not even paying attention. Oh, perfect. That's 2 really good boons. I think we go Demeter first to increase the chance that we get what we want, which is basic attack, frost, I think, and random firing arrows. Yeah, that's fine. I'm not a big fan of her cast. It's nice because you can just throw them down and not pay attention to it, but
So that's your choice.
it's not my favorite.
More like
They always get so upset. It's like, yeah, we're gonna force you to make... Ow! We're gonna force you to make a choice, but whoever you don't choose every single time is gonna be upset. Oh my goodness. These duo, I actually think these duo fights sometimes tend to be more difficult than actual elites. Just because it's so easy to get caught in animations in those circles.
here, why not take a
Nice, and we got the epic version. But we do still need to get... Look at all the arrows. So funny. They don't do a crazy... Oops. A crazy amount of damage. But it still just feels really cool, you know? We haven't seen her Hephaestus hammer, and I thought you were almost guaranteed to see one on the first floor. I could be wrong on that, though. Ow. I'm taking more chip damage than I should. Hey. Speaking of... That's pretty helpful. I don't even know if the arrows are really that good. It just feels really good, I feel like, with a ticking weapon. Because you feel like you're throwing out about 1 billion attacks at once. But I have done... I'm trying to think of, like... Like, you can definitely do solid, like, normal builds with any weapon. But I often try to experiment with builds that really shine only with that weapon or that aspect. And I feel like you can do a few things. The hangover stacking can be good. The... I've done doom stacking. It's not bad. We could probably go net positive on health here. No reason not to. I'm sure if we had the, like, really heavy timer restrictions, that would be, like, a reason not to, but that's also why I don't like messing around with that. Because in roguelikes, I feel like you get the most value when you take your time. Alright, and we're max health again, and we can go see Sisyphus and Boldy.
Hey, sir.
Hey, don't mind me. I'm just giving a nectar to a rock.
For eternity.
It cracks me up every time without fail.
Well, see you.
Or would it give me special damage bonus? Not bad. It's like small, like 4 or 5% bonuses to things.
Is that correct? Moreover, I have heard a truly fascinating rumor about her.
Yeah?
That I'm her son.
Yeah.
True, sir. And she's back with us for now, indeed.
I really like how wholesome Zagreus has always been to literally everyone except Hades. They're warming up to each other, but at the start he was just super wholesome.
Here. I'd always heard good things about that one. No wonder such a quality.
That's so nice. Like... Alright, we're just gonna grab money.
I got you covered, Prince.
Thank you, mate.
Bye now.
Alright. I don't know if I really... You know, you can do some really funny stuff with the, So if you get Poseidon Dash, I believe an Ares perk. No, that's the build I was doing on Beowulf Shield. I think it's just Poseidon Dash knocking enemy into walls. On the Hades floor, you can get away with some really stupid stuff.
I'll pay for that.
These two are nice. Let's do this. We have a God Gauge. We've been getting hit a lot. It's not bad. Specialist faster. I don't know how that interacts with attacks and specials being faster with every single weapon. This is probably the safe bet. Hi, Charon.
Hope you enjoyed the feast with the Olympians, Charon.
Huh.
We didn't have much of a chance to chat, though it looked...
Good old Charon. I don't know how often you're able to be offered to fight Charon, because it's basically when there's like a chunk of money, you can just borrow it, quote unquote, and then you fight Charon, which hurts a lot. Oh no.
Oh, sorry that you couldn't make the feast back at the house, Tiffany. Though I don't really think it was your kind of scene. Although
Jeez.
Ares was there, he's probably done
Right
something
after I
right.
said Zagreus is so wholesome, he immediately starts antagonizing Tisiphone. This I really do think is my least favorite of the Fury fights. I hate it so much. At least we have the range to work with, but... Whew! That scared me. But if we can get the Demeter perk to, Ow! Stop. If we can get the Demeter perk to make the Frost Axe burst, that should be a pretty solid chunk of DPS. I really like doing that build. Oh, stop. I'm not sure at what point we should start launching our God Gauge. I don't think we need to save for max God. Max charge, I mean. But we are getting the point that I'm probably starting to waste it. I just don't want to launch it into that. That specifically. Okay. Okay. I really do not like this fight. I think she's... Oh. Okay, we're good. Ugh, that was rough. Like, we weren't anywhere near in danger of using, like, a death to fight, but... I just feel like after all these runs, I should be able to beat that fight with much less chip damage. But alas, that is not the case.
Tisiphone defeated.
Off to Asphodel.
I know, right?
Maybe I should
I have not tried, like, any of the other Chthonic companions, but we do have enough that I could level one up fully and mess around with it a little bit. Because I believe, yeah, like, does more damage at base level. I just really like using this particular one for the Hydra fight. I'm almost tempted to stay on Demeter's to try and get higher tier perks on her, but I feel like that is missing out a bit of value. I don't feel like I need the Acorn until the Theseus fight. Maybe go for some levels.
So much for Tartarus.
Could be helpful.
And check.
Alright, let's see. My least favorite floor. I'm almost tempted to re-roll that, but it could be helpful to get a little bit more basic attack. I think we should just save our rerolls for when we're really forced into perks we don't want. I am really surprised, though, that we did not see a Hephaestus Hammer. I don't know all the rules behind what can spawn and when, but I feel like my last, like, 20 runs I've had one on the first floor, and usually one on Elysium as well. I feel like that's really common. I mean, our last run... Oops. Nope! Our last run, we literally started with a hammer. Oh, that's what's over here. Right. Not too bad. I really didn't think it when I first unlocked it, but healing 3 in between rooms is so helpful too.
The power of the gods.
What do we got? Yeah. I'm down for this one. Oh, I probably could have gone into that Hermes perk. Oh. This is my favorite song in this entire game. It's so pretty.
Looky who.
Oh. I'm surprised Orpheus isn't here.
Hope Orpheus is on the up and up down where you live.
Yeah. Alright, so this could be good specifically because we don't have too many boons, and upgrading our basic attack could be really nice. 4 levels could be good. I think I'm going to greed, though, and go for this.
It'll be my pleasure.
Just the next 3 boons I'll have upgraded rarity. Could be nice. It could do nothing, to be fair. We'll see. Part of the reason I like the rail is even if I'm not sure it's like the strongest weapon at high heat, I've kind of looked into that. And I know people actually like the middle two aspects a little bit more, I think, than the laser. For like really high heat runs. I still think it's fun to use. Oh. Just casually slid on the lava as the room ended. I wouldn't mind having some more max HP, because I still have... I mean, we're going to be running into a Hades fight that's buffed that I've never seen before.
What else we got?
I wouldn't mind Artemis cast.
Not what I need right now.
Perfect. I'm really looking to get that pop on 10 frost charges.
Good, I love snakes.
I'm also really bad about not using my cast to get the extra damage bonus. You know, even though I've gotten to a higher level with the Adamant Rail by a couple, I still think that I like the aspect of Arthur as my favorite weapon right now. It was one of the last hidden aspects I unlocked, but it just feels so good. Be setting. That didn't work. It's awkward. There we go. Our special does do a lot of damage. It's just a little awkward getting it down sometimes. Okay, we didn't get it. This isn't bad, per se. On the last floor and between floors, it pretty much guarantees you should get full health, but let's try this. We are going, like, full investment into Demeter perks, though. So if the game doesn't work with us, it could be awkward.
Bloodless.
So, might be reloading too often. In all honesty, though, every time I am offered the infinite ammo perk on this, I take it. The ramping damage is good, but so is not having to reload. What else is... Oh, okay. Alright, we got it. What's nice, too, is against these enemies, we took a good chunk of chip damage last run. We're not usually going to be in range. Fire that. Perfect. I don't know what I'd say my favorite call is, though. Surprisingly, I think Poseidon's feels pretty good. Oh, there's our hammer. I think Poseidon's feels pretty good. Athena's is the one that I just never can time right. I think it could be really powerful. Oh, Thanatos. I feel like it could be really powerful if I was better at the game, but every time I activate it right after I take damage. Alright, let's see. I feel like beating Thanatos isn't usually too hard. If you get a bunch of, like, weak enemies, it's really easy. If you get, a bunch of elite enemies, sometimes it's a bit more of a problem. We're only ahead by 2. Okay. That's not good. You know, this is bad. I should have gotten off this island. We still won, but that was a lot closer than I thought it would be. And we took a lot more chip damage there. I was really stubborn. I do that a lot on Thanatos fight, where I get really stubborn about making sure that I win. Oh, hey, there it is. When in reality, I should be playing for safety. Because losing a death to fight, I feel, any time before Theseus and the Minotaur hurts so bad. Oh, hey. Luckily, the game has decided not to punish me for that. That's funny. Okay, I don't want to be on this island. Okay. Yeah, I do think you lose a little bit of DPS and not having your damage ramp, but also you potentially gain a good chunk by never having to reload. Because we can just continually spit out these arrows from the Artemis perk.
Who's going to clean all this up?
Mine now.
Alright. Do we want pomegranate or a shop? I just feel like you can always put off the shop. because of the fact that you have such a large shop at the end that you usually can't complete the buyout. Yo, when is Hades 2? I think Hades 2 is supposed to come out. Sorry, I just saw your chat. I think Hades 2 is supposed to come out in Q2 of this year when I last looked up. I know those dates can change though, so it's not 100%, but I could take a quick double check here. Hades 2 release date. Yeah, just on Google it says early access on Steam and Epic Games Store in Q2 2024. Release window is likely between April and June. Just from a quick look. I'm super excited for it though. I'm really hoping that it's going to be a cool game. I remember original Hades was in early access, right? Because on Steam it says it released in 2020, but it was in 2018 for early access for a while. But unless it's delayed, it looks like it'll probably be Q2 of this year. Sorry, I was super focused on my fight, but yeah, it should be around then. Let's see. A different yes, so I don't know too much about the upcoming game, but I don't believe it's going to be Zagreus. I believe it's a... Let me look that up too. I remember I looked a bit into it, but Hades 2 protagonist is... It says Melanoe. That's a E with 2 dots above it. So it said featured... I haven't seen the reveal trailer, actually. I didn't know there was one. Will be the protagonist of Hades 2 on a mission to take down Kronos with the help of Hecate and the other Olympian gods. I was actually wondering about that. It says, in game's lore, she's the daughter of Hades and the sister of Zagreus, star of the first game. So I don't know what'll happen to Zagreus. I'm interested about that. Another thing I know, though, is supposedly Apollo is one of the gods that'll help you in the next game, because he's not present in this one. So I'm really excited to see what mixture of Olympians they bring. Like, will we actually get to see Hephaestus? But yeah, that's pretty exciting. According to Supergiant, she's an immortal witch and sorceress with powerful magical abilities. Oh. I am sure everything here is subject to change, though, to keep in mind, but yeah. But I'll actually have to watch that trailer. I didn't know there was an official release, like, reveal trailer for it. But yeah, I was wondering if they'd go with a different formula, because... Oh, yeah. No, you're good. Thanks, man. I usually just play, like, either, like, the Hoyoverse games, or, like, Arknights or roguelikes, but I'd wanted to sit down and play some Hades for a while. But have a good one. Let's see. Hopefully we won't take too much smashing damage on Lerny this time. Our DPS is looking pretty good, but as always, the real danger of this fight is the Hydra heads. Oh. The problem is, on this phase, I can still kind of make space. If I don't quickly destroy a bunch of the heads on the second one, I'm not going to have a good time. Am I hitting it? Oh. I do really appreciate that you can get that extra range, though. Because we took so much chip damage on Lerny last run, just because I was getting in too close and being too greedy. Alright, let's try and get... Oh. That is the one thing. I wish you could, like, manually reactivate your special on this weapon, because it's so easy to... That was not the path I was hoping that would go. It's too easy to be hitting enemies with the beam, especially when you don't have infinite ammo, and then just not be able to activate it when you want. But the special does hit really hard. But something I've really needed to get out of the habit of is being super reckless on Asphodel. Because as we get to higher heat, we're eventually going to have 400% trap damage, and that is usually where I take a bunch of damage. Not too bad.
Enough. Nice.
There we go. 10 heat. what could we switch to? I just feel like the Acorn's such high value on the last two fights. I am just still in my head wondering how bad the Hades fight's going to be buffed. I've just never seen it. But Theseus and the Minotaur is such a huge spike in difficulty. I feel like the Minotaur in particular is not difficult to deal with at all before they're buffed. Actually, Hermes doesn't sound too bad. Get some movement speed, extra dashes. Oh. But I do feel like my number one reason I might not succeed at higher heats is just the amount of chip damage I tend to take. I just don't play the game controlled enough. Yeah. Now that I'm thinking about it, we didn't see any of the mini chariots last run. Like, at all. And that's usually one of the worst things for melee weapons, because then you're forced to use cast or really work on the edge of your attack and special range. Although we did have Dionysus cast, so it wouldn't have been too bad last run.
That was a real something of a feast back at your place. A little awkward having to pretend we just met, but hey, I'm an Olympian. Means I can posture with the best of them.
Alright. Rapid fire cast. You know what? I don't mind that. We have a pretty powerful DPS cast, and there's another hammer. See what we can go with here. Okay, not a fan of this room. Oh, I did not see that. I really do feel like if I can get better about using the special on this weapon, though, it'll go pretty well. What have we got? None of these seem too bad. I have messed around with triple bomb. It does kind of solve that issue, and it's a huge chunk of damage if you can even get, like, 2 of them. 50% faster is less of a concern when you have infinite ammo. It is still helpful after dashing. Range is never bad. That's the special. Let's try this. Yeah. Could be pretty good. Let's go pomegranate. Oh, I dashed right into that. That's awkward. I mean, yeah, any enemy I get in that triple bomb is it's gonna hurt. And with there being 3 of them, there's less of a chance that it gets blocked by enemies, which is also really nice. Alright, we're good.
Delicious.
I never know, because we really heavily invested into our call last run, which was also just constant application of damage. So even though it's just 2 here, that wouldn't be terrible, but let's go ahead and... I don't know. We still haven't gotten our... that's worth it. We still haven't gotten our Demeter Frost proc, so our basic attack could probably use the extra help. I was actually going to buff my special there if I had the opportunity presented to me, but... okay. With this build, I think it completely shifts what I was going to do. Yeah, that is... oh, ow. Pretty nuts. I really do wonder, too, once enemies are buffed to the extreme at higher heat levels, if it's more of a threat on these guys respawning. Because I feel like it usually is not. We did not get much money out of that. That might not have been worth it. Let's go max health. If anything, max health is always a nice buffer. We got... I really can't say I think I need Trippy Fog. There are some really good, just side non-main build Dionysus perks. And this might be Minotaur. I think we have a really good build for fighting elites. Let's go ahead and do it. I maybe could have rerolled it too, but... Okay. I think there's good enough perks outside of the Kirby Fog, and even if we see it, right, we're guaranteed at least 2 other perks. Our God Gauge is also charging up much faster than I thought it would. Oh, is the elite dead? Wow. Okay, that's awkward. Perfect. Yeah, that was a lot simpler than I thought it might be. I'll take it. What do we got? Ooh. So obviously, max life on Nectar, I mean, that's 25 immediately and every other subsequent time. I think we're going to go with this. Because we're guaranteed at least 2 more fountains. But the max life could have been the way to go. If I lose 1 death to fight on the Theseus fight, I'm not usually too concerned about it. Once they're buffed, but any more than that and it starts to become a problem for sure. Take him over here. I guess I did ask them to rush at me. Alright. Yeah, I've done this before. I am really impressed with this special build, though. I'm sure we could have found one with a higher multiplier. I don't think Demeter is the highest special damage. I could be wrong. I just know that Aphrodite and I think Poseidon as well have really high multipliers on all of their boons. It could have been fun to do a crit build too. Like, the more and more I play this game, the more and more I realize how fun crit build can be. Let's give this to Patrocles. That should be my bond forged.
You'd give the precious gift of ambrosia to someone like me, stranger. A gloried thing like that. Why bother? I should...
Well, you're not. You're someone I look forward to seeing here in Elysium.
That's true.
Which is more than I can say for just about anybody else around here, so please enjoy it. Perhaps with Achilles.
Man, that's really wholesome. And I felt really bad for Patrocles. When we first show up in Elysium, Patrocles is just really, like, depressed and having a hard time. But then, you know, once, like, he gets up in his getup, right? He was sitting down constantly when you first see him.
Achilles has returned to work for now, but waiting for him, knowing he'll return.
Yeah.
Rather than waiting for the sake of it, for nothing. Such a different feeling, stranger. I'd forgotten it entirely, I think.
I'm happy for the both of you. So, is everything alright then? The circumstances under which you were separated in life. It's unimaginable, really. How does one move on from a thing like that?
Anger fades, I guess, stranger. Even the famous anger of Achilles. Anger burns hot, then burns out. What's left is a dull ache, but underneath it, there was something else. It felt as though, well, I was still alive. That feeling, it's worth holding on to.
So many of these games, though, I know in some games, like in Genshin and Star Rail, the VAs are often praised, but the voice actors for games like this add so much to the experience. So good. I'm actually going to take the damage here, I think, because we're pretty much at max health. And while it is good... Ooh, we would have gotten more max health if we'd taken that Dionysus perk. Hear me out. I don't want the key. It does give me a reroll chance. But I feel like this has got to be Minotaur. I was wrong. That's awkward. Oh, I'm not a fan of this room. Oh my goodness. If we didn't have that perk, the Hephaestus Hammer perk, this room would have gone so much more poorly. We still got like 20 health knocked off instantly though. Not the best, but you know, it's doable. I mean, the triple burst will basically kill any regular mob enemy if all 3 hit. Like, I can't really imagine anything surviving that. Not the worst. I am 99.9% certain, I wasn't counting rooms, that this is the last one before the boss fight, so let's go ahead and go shop. It might have been good to greed for the max health and then just spend on the Hades fight, but I actually am pretty worried about this fight. I think it's a lot easier on the sword, ironically, despite everything going on. I don't feel like I have enough critical effects to go for anything else.
Good enough to eat.
Do I want 4% attack damage or do I want the arrows? The arrows do put in a lot of work. I'm just not sure how much of a difference it makes. Let's try this. We keep not getting offered the special, which is a bit tragic, but we still have a good chunk of cash left. Let's see how this goes. Of course, nothing new with this fight, but being able to stay at range on the Minotaur is nice, especially with the AoE slam. But I still feel like it's a little bit harder to deal with this fight than it is on the sword. Uh-huh.
Yeah, about that. She's my mother. So maybe watch your fool mouth with me, or else I might just put in a bad word.
Oh, you disgust me.
Oh, jeez.
You would even dare to say such things about the Queen.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the Minotaur's just sitting here just like, yeah, we're just not gonna comment. Oh boy. Come here. Oh. Okay. Nope. We do not do as much damage as I thought we would with the triple bomb on bosses. I'll be honest. Not bad damage, but it's still significantly less than the aspect of Arthur, and we're still significantly squishier. Don't do that. Okay. I think I'm just going to save up for Greater Call and try to one-bop Minotaur out of phase 2. Because we're charging it fast enough that I don't think we need to save it for Theseus like we did last time. But if we use it now... Yeah. Now... Okay, that did not do as much damage as I thought it was going to either. Stop! Minotaur. There we go. That's one of my resists. That's actually the first resist we popped with this fight. Which is surprising. Come here. Oh my goodness. I wonder if there's a way to adjust the auto-targeting on the beam. I kind of doubt it because it's just one specific aspect. But... Ooh. Okay, Minotaur's down. These should be a lot easier to deal with. He went the other way. That's awkward. Come here. Thank you. Wow, we've already almost got Greater Call built up because of our perk we picked up. Where is he? There it is. Huh. Oh. He keeps juking me. I keep trying to set up the traps and he goes somewhere else. Oh. When you stand still like that, I should have been more ready. How much health does... It's weird because I feel like most of the time the second phase is exactly half on this fight, except for Theseus in the chariot. I bet we can just... Yep, that's what I thought. Not a bad fight at all. I will take it. I mean, we took a lot more damage on our sword fight, but... Eh. We should get the bonus damage off our... Where is it? Am I crazy? I think that's the way it procs. Maybe this doesn't count. Or maybe it just doesn't visually show the tick. Let's keep the acorn.
So close.
Alright.
Courtesy of the pact.
See what we can get. I'll be honest, I feel like 90% of the time, as soon as I get the treat, I just leave. There's something to be said for a run that you don't feel is strong enough trying to greed for some more. But We'll see. There's a Demeter perk.
Should come in useful.
There it is. Could have been a higher rarity, but I'll take it.
Perks you right up.
And we have chill on both of our attack and special. We just kind of went full Demeter here.
Power of Olympus.
1 damage on that. 9 on the dash. It's so hard to know, right? Because this is almost guaranteed to hit. Whereas, to be honest, I'm not really focused on using my dash to rush into enemies. This feels less necessary when we have automatic charging. Let's do that. Not the highest value, but we'll take it. I still don't know if I've caught a legendary fish or what the legendary fish are. But until I either hit the number quota or get the fish, I can't get my bond with Poseidon. Got. What are options here? Poseidon, Artemis. I do want that max HP. Reroll Poseidon.
Something else.
Okay. I think we go max HP first, then Demeter, then coin. Because if we take a bunch of damage on the elite here, we can still kind of recoup some of that health on the following groupings. Because if we take too much, we're just not going to have full health off the fountain. Which is annoying. For a long time, I actually thought the Cerberus fountain full healed you, and then I had runs where I had like 400 max HP, and I realized that was not the case. Reminds me of using Cold Heart in Destiny 2, actually. Alright, that was fast. I didn't feel like we'd been through enough rooms. This thing's armor's... Nope, that's bad. I dashed the wrong way. Whew! I could definitely try and use the traps to my advantage, but I think with how much damage we have on our... God... It's not even that much damage, it's just really annoying. Alright, where's the shaman? Oh, the shaman died. Did I step on the poison pool that was over there? I'm going crazy. I got poisoned twice, I thought it was still alive. Alright. That's fine. Let's go Demeter. Uh-oh. Yeah. The blast on effect is... It feels pretty good. Anything worth buying here? This technically would last to Hades if this is the path with the treat, but that... Let's try and save up for another pomegranate. There's an Artemis blessing there as well, but for 450 I don't think I'll be going for it. Alright. You can get some ridiculous builds that just insta-clear this one. There's a really fun... I can't remember if you have to have Ares or Poseidon cast on the Beowulf shield, where you stack up the charges in your shield. But that's a pretty fun build. I don't know, I just feel like generally I don't go too much into Poseidon. But some of the perks can make for some hilarious antics. Alright. Alright, not too bad. Okay, well I'll just let it die to the trap. And there it goes. Not stand in that poison fog. Probably not the place we want to be. Oh, I didn't even see that. Where's the pool? It's in the center. Okay, we're good. I just ran into the... I'm panicking. I also definitely could have used my call there. Not the worst, but not good. You know? Actually, does that, if it completely chills your foe, right, does that instantly stack for the, I would think. I think it's still, that's probably not necessary. It's fine. I wonder. Hermes perks can be really good for ranged weapons. A lot of them are utility based, but having that extra speed can help you keep at range. Take this. Oh, wow. Yeah, sure. We have a build that allows us to use our call much more often than you usually would be able to.
Where would I be?
Realistically, even if I go coin, I don't know if I can afford either of those blessings. So let's go pomegranate.
This one, I guess.
I could re-roll it too, but... Interesting. Okay. Not bad. I can't believe we haven't had special damage offered to us, though, since we got our triple... I almost dodged into poison there. Since we got our triple cast, we haven't gotten... Where is it? Yeah. I don't think we've gotten a special damage pomegranate, and we've taken a good few. This strat also works really well for the Hades beams, because you can just get right behind the pillar and launch him out the side. Anything you can do during that phase when he's basically a sitting duck is nice.
A sack fit for a huge three-headed hound.
Okay, well... Just... I don't use my cast as much as I should. Unless I'm specifically using a synergy with it, sometimes I just forget I have it.
Could check the other passageways before I go.
I could, but I'm not going to.
Cerberus move.
Thanks, Cerberus.
I owe you one, boy.
I really do wonder, though, thinking back, if Hades 2, you're trying to take out Kronos, will we even have to fight through the underworld, or is it going to be somewhere else? Anyway. I'm a little bit terrified for this fight. The run's been really good up to now, but I just genuinely have no idea what Hades does when buffed. Is he wearing anything new? Not that I can tell. I mean, worst case scenario, it's a third phase.
Terms of the pact of punishment to which you are bound. Even when my servants resorted to extreme measures, they were still unable to surpass you then. So now it is my turn.
Yeah.
Too unprepared, did I? After Theseus and his Macedonian, I have expected to see you thundering around on some golden chariot of your own, drawn by sable steeds, that sort of thing. But it's just you.
Just... Why, Zagreus? Now that you said it, he's gonna just, like... It's gonna be something horrifying.
It is just me indeed. However, that should be more than necessary here. No holding back this time, Zagreus.
Were you holding back the other, like, 30 or 40 times I've beaten you? But...
Let's go.
Oh, yeah, that didn't go off in time. What is that? Oh! There was a little aura around the skull. Does that mean they deal damage around them? That shouldn't be a problem for a ranged weapon. Oh. That should be a pretty big issue for... Oh, he has the, Isn't that the op... I think that's the aspect of... That didn't hit. Oops. That's the aspect of, It's one of the spear aspects, when you throw it and dash to it. It's a really good way to take damage if you're not paying attention. Just doesn't stay still enough for me to get this off. Oh, that's going off. Those skulls, I think, are a huge issue when you're using the bow. Like, I don't know how you use the bow super effectively. Did I really just fire my Greater Call into the Invuln? Dang it. That is not the first time I've done that. I would assume there's got to be something different about the... Yep, Acorn's down. I would assume there's got to be something different about the second phase too. Stop that. Ugh, okay. Not super impressed with our DPS right now, but it is Hades. Oh, I should have gotten hit there. I did get hit there. Okay. I don't know if I should be trying to deal with these, Oh! Did he just summon a... Oh, no, I thought he summoned the whole elite from the first floor. This is going very poorly. Oh, he did. Okay, okay, I'm trying really hard not to panic. But there's so much going on my screen right now, I can't even tell what's happening. We've gotten Greater Call 3 times already. Okay, second phase. That is so hard to tell what's going on. Oh no, I don't want to be next to this. It didn't even pop it. Oh, he's doing it again. That's fine, that's free damage for me. I'll take that. That's less good. Oh! Oh no. Oh, this is really bad. Okay. Is he doing it again? Really? I mean, it's not a bad thing with this weapon. It's free damage, but... Oh. I'm just surprised, because I feel like he only does that once or twice when you're, not fighting buff version. Please don't go invuln. I think I got most of that damage. What's he doing? Excuse me? Is he healing? Oh. That's bad. Oh. In some strange way, this almost feels like the first time I fought Hades, where I had no idea what he was doing and I was just out panicking. Okay. I mean, we still have all 3 death defied, but... Wait, what? Did he just summon Cerberus? Not a fan of that. Oh, I didn't get behind the pillar. We're fine. That's crazy. You know what? Speaking of calls... To be fair, even after I mentioned it, I forgot the call. And I forgot my cast. I just realized I wasn't using my cast outside of when I opened. I definitely think... Oh, what? You know, I jinxed it. When I said there might be a third phase, I absolutely jinxed it, didn't I? What have I done to myself? It's so dark. What do these do? They were glowing. Are they gonna explode if they don't? Okay. Okay. He just disappeared. Oh, no. Oh, this is bad. Oh, this is really bad. He's almost dead. Oh, I can't even see what's going on. Oh, don't do it. You know what, let's just shoot our arrows. Tell me that's it. I didn't even have my hands on the keyboard. When he... Oh, jeez. I was joking when I said I thought there might be a third phase. I didn't know that was actually what was going to happen. Oh, that was almost really bad. I don't know if I would put that in if I was going for the Heat 16 for the second Skelly prize. It's so much value, but I don't know if I'd do it. Looking at my clears. Yeah, I've only done 3 on the spear. I hate the spear. I'm actually surprised I'm at 6 on the bow, but 4 on the fist, because I like the fist a lot more than the bow. Although I think the first clear I ever did might have been with the bow. Shield. I have so many clears on the blade because when I was farming for the epilogue, I was using the blade. I was also doing a bunch of farming runs on low heat to get all the duo boons for that prophecy. But 59 clears. I think we're at like 80-something attempts. That's not terrible. When you consider like our first 15, 16 or so runs were our early attempts. And I do have a few mulligan runs in there. Tough game. Yeah, this game's rough. I have not seen that version of Hades. But at high heat, this game's brutal. Have you tried it? I think the sequel is coming out, so I was talking with someone else. The sequel is supposed to come out in Q2 of this year. Super fun, but it is a tough roguelike.
Most likely ends akin to other tales of the heroes of our time, like so.
Let's see.
I think.
Thanatos should be here because he helped us this run too. Let's see. Yeah, I'd have to look up the conditions for the rest of these bonds. I know Poseidon's. I know Aphrodite's. I have no idea what Artemis's is. I thought Demeter's was reaching epilogue, but apparently it's not. We're kind of hitting critical mass on needing nectar and ambrosia, which is nice. You can convert it to other stuff.
You're my good boy. Yes, you are. We're all very proud of you, boy. You were so well behaved at the feast.
I can't believe not only is there a third phase with the extreme measures on Hades, but he has the ability to summon Cerberus. Like, that caught me off guard. I think just the range that we had, like, it would have been much harder with the bow than our setup there, but I don't know how hard that's going to be with the melee weapon. Because with the dimmed lights, I couldn't even tell where Hades was, or the exploding skulls were.
Thanatos, I wanted to apologize for the
Hey,
last time
thanks.
I approached you with a bottle of the real thing and give the whole exchange.
I haven't played roguelikes on my channel in a while. I played a lot of, like Genshin, Starro, and Arknights. But I really do enjoy roguelikes. A lot of my early content was like Slay the Spire and stuff way back when. So, I'd wanted to come back to this game for a while. Do a couple streams on it.
Sure. Permission granted. Though
I don't know that it will. I never really know exactly where
I'm always on the look for new roguelikes. I basically completed Across the Obelisk outside of high difficulties there. But I've unlocked everything. I've thought about doing that too.
our relationship? It wasn't long ago you were prepared to throw it all away while making for the surface, if you don't recall. But now you're saying that you care for me. And what exactly, Zagreus?
Yes, that's what I'm saying, Than.
I can't believe it took me this long to do this this quest. It's just so infrequent when Thanatos shows up, and for a long time, because he had like queued dialogue, even when he did show up, I couldn't give him nectar or ambrosia.
Yes, I know, I think.
It's really annoying.
When I heard you took off, the anger that I felt, it wasn't something I expected. So, what do we do now?
Maybe we ought to take our time. Unlike the real thing there, that's a commodity we have in good supply. Just know that if you feel the way I do, you know where to find me. And if not, I'm grateful anyway.
I see. Well then.
Okay.
The best that I can say for now is that I'm grateful too for this. Take care of yourself, Zag.
You too.
Well then. Oh, there's the bond forged. Am I tabbed out? Oh, okay.
So, lad, tell me then, how...
Well, I confess I was perhaps a little nervous for practically the entire thing, but all in all, I had a good time. And I'm very, very glad it all turned out the way it did. How about yourself?
I quite enjoyed it too. Last time I was invited to a feast, I
I kind of wish we'd gotten to see a little bit more in the epilogue of what like everyone was saying, everyone's opinions, but it also makes sense with the style of Hades for us to kind of go around and talk to everyone afterwards.
She really pulled it off.
Hmm.
But for all her confidence, I don't think she knew she had it in her. Because if she did, if she reached out to Olympus sooner, a lot of things could have been different.
Yeah, we really don't get to see, like, the state of the human world, but the few times we were up there, Demeter was so angry still that everything was frozen over. So, I feel like maybe, you know, things could have been done a little bit earlier.
Your mother had her reasons. No one gets to act on perfect information, right? All we have is what we think we know, and what our conscience tells us. Your mother got to where all this was possible, all thanks to you.
All thanks to me, sir. I had ample help along the way. For instance, I could not have done it without you. Would have been using an old chair leg as a weapon, I suppose.
And what a fearsome chair leg it would be. In any case, you heading out there soon? Olympus should be more than happy to assist in your security.
I do wonder what weapons, the next protagonist will be. There's a decent chance it's just the same 6, or maybe they add some in, swap them out, but I do wonder. That might even be stuff they've shown in the trailer. Hey, have a good one, Augustine. I don't know how often I'll stream. It's usually like on weekends, but have a good one. Let's see. I think basically everything else I'm missing here is cosmetic.
You have been served a pact of punishment now, child. I thought to talk your father out of it at first, but it may serve to let you grow your power even more.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to do that Hades fight again. That was something. I mean, practice makes perfect, but jeez.
Someone to look on the bright side of things next.
It is a point of fact. If you can overcome the conditions of the pact, your influence throughout this realm
To be fair to the game, though, it did give me a dialogue option. I just wasn't paying attention. It said something about, like, it was kind of the same dialogue as when he's going down most of the time.
No problem whatsoever, I'm sure.
But then he just got up and
The head chef
panicked.
is going to want this fish. This is my latest haul. I'm much obliged.
Do I need to talk to Dusa?
Dusa, this whole place, it looks immaculate. That's even after all Olympus came here for that giant feast. How did you get everything clean so fast?
Well, I guess I have my ways, Prince. Sometimes you get one of those jobs and you just want to give it everything you've got, you know? I get a lot of jobs like that. Feeding Cerberus, cleaning the rafters. But this one, I just knew it was the perfect job for
So
me.
interesting that we have characters like Dusa and Meg, that no one else, like, around them are allowed to come in. Like, Meg's sisters aren't allowed to be inside the house. Almost all the other Gorgons aren't. But then we have such distinctive, like, unique characters that are. I really do wonder, again, you would think all of these characters will be present in Hades 2. Like, if you're fighting Kronos, like, Zagreus should be there. It'd be cool if we even got, like, blessings or a weapon from him. But I'd really love to see all these characters come back. What are we missing? Let's play the harp a couple times.
Close enough.
I have actually no idea if it's like you just play this once between runs. But he is steadily improving. I just know at the end on this quest, eventually, he will talk to Orpheus, I believe. And he'll compliment us on actually getting decent enough at the lyre. Let's see. I am debating continuing to go higher in heat or work on one of our lower weapons.
So, pal, my sources tell me that you made
Oh, don't
a
worry,
great
Skelly.
ball, which means my usefulness is coming to an end.
I'm sure eventually with high enough heat, you will make yourself 2 more statues.
Into you with whatever vicious attack sequence I fancy at the time.
Yeah, once you achieve your goal, my contract's up. You won't need me anymore.
But only if I leave for good, isn't that right? So if I stuck around, you'd stay here too?
Probably, but wait,
Well,
you're really gonna stay?
once Persephone got back down to the underworld, there's not really a reason for Zagreus to leave.
Looks that way.
Alright, so it was our bow, right, that we are super low on.
You were bound to me.
No, we are at
your
6 on the
host.
bow. Was it gauntlets? Gauntlets, we were at 4. It's probably the spear. It is the spear. I hate this weapon so much. I just remember thinking, oh man, lifesteal is going to be so good. And you do actually, once you upgrade it, the penalty is less bad. The problem is the amount of health you get back on your spin attack is so low. But you can tell, like, I've dumped so much of my resources into the aspects of this weapon to try and make it feel better. And I hate it. Oh, jeez. Maybe we do... Let's do a fist run. I do not know what is considered the best here. I was just using the free dodge chance. I've tried the aspect of Gilgamesh. My problem is I don't use dash special very often on this weapon. Try this.
Together we grow stronger.
After landing 12 strikes, your next special hits 5 times. Could be really good. I just don't know if there's going to be any indicator on... I guess we could test now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, it tells you cutter charged. That's not bad. It seems like the animation's still about the same amount of time. Which is important, because it means that you're not going to be, you know, stuck in that animation and getting blown away. Okay. We'll give it a try. I did not change my... What do we want here? I have no idea. Crit doesn't sound too bad. I don't know. I feel like crit just shines so much on the aspect of Arthur because the multiplier isn't as high, but the base damage on that weapon is so ridiculously high. I could see... let's go with the safe route here. I am curious, but I feel like this is just always a safe way to go. We definitely do not need that. So let's do 2 extreme measures and... This one I don't do super often. I like my Mirror of Night. I could practice this, but it's going to result in me dying in a really stupid way. Let's just go hard labor. That's not enough. You know what? That is overcapping. It still just gives you the rewards for 5. But let's practice the Theseus fight. I still don't feel like I'm good enough at that fight. I know in the last 2 runs we haven't lost a death defied to Theseus and the Minotaur, but we also were using my 2 favorite weapons. So, you know, we'll see.
Oh, dearest, you've no idea what a delightful time I had while visiting you recently. So many new sights and sounds and smells, why it was wonderful. And you are burdened with a big responsibility, aren't you? Mind if I lend my graces to you still from time to time?
Yeah. Okay. The problem is I feel like you would often hope your basic attack is higher than rare. There's also a chance we could upgrade it with Eurydice. Let's just take it. We're not on a super high heat. The only things that are affected here are our first 3 bosses. So... Do the... Oops. Do the, I wonder if the 12 strikes have to be in the same room. Or if it stacks between rooms. Okay, well, I missed. We got a reroll. I'm super down for some max life. I am wondering what I should go with for my special here. Oh, you have a big glowing effect on you, too. Okay. Not only does it give you the text notification that your special is charged on this aspect, it does also make you start glowing with blue flame. That's nice. I almost even wonder if it wouldn't be better to have a weaker attack, and then you could invest entirely in your special, and just make that hit hard. That way you just ramp up your charge on cutter, and then use that. It probably isn't, but it would be interesting to try. I need to use my cast more. It's so helpful. It's one of the resources that if I don't constantly remind myself about it, like the Chthonic Companion, I missed again. I just don't use it.
Shiny.
I think it's a little early for a shop. So, with these, if I reroll it, we get 5 max HP on Darkness, we get a reroll on Key, and we get 20 gold off the gems. I'm actually going to look for Darkness here. 5 max HP might not seem like a lot, but it's definitely helpful in the long run. It's also helpful not to run into traps. I will probably go into that Chaos Portal unless I'm offered Hephaestus Hammer right now. That's one thing I've always wondered if they'll keep is when you go into Chaos Portal, the options presented to you are not the same.
Darkness.
Okay, well, I could reroll this. Let's go Darkness Portal.
Hit me.
I feel like the Chaos Portals are oftentimes just like stat sticks. So what have we got? This would be very bad. That would be really bad. Extra casts are really good on the bow cast aspect as well as the shield cast aspect. Yeah, sure. I don't think that will last to our... I'm going to take max HP here. That shouldn't last to our boss fight. So it should be okay. Not bad. I wonder if you do a chest challenge. I don't think it counts as a separate encounter. One thing I just never got good at with this weapon, though, is using dash upper. Because that would probably solve the issue I'm having of me not hitting. But I'm also just really bad at hitting a direction plus Q. I could also rebind it. I've thought about doing that too, but... It just spacebar plus a direction plus Q is really awkward.
Back to the lowest depths with them.
But not too bad. 109, that's basically as if we'd gotten a free coin thing. We can either... I mean, that's guaranteed to be my basic attack. Or I could reroll. Let's try saving our rerolls. It's not bad to increase the multiplier on our attack. And I don't believe... I don't want, like, deflect on my special. I do want something good for my special, for sure. I just don't think Athena is it. And it keeps offering Athena to me. Well, Athena perk. But if it's doing that much damage on no boon for our special... Ow. That's...
The power of the gods.
Yeah, 20% attack is good. Let's go see our good buddy Sisyphus and Boldy.
Hello, sir. Cheers, Baldy. Thank you for brightening my day or night.
I love the smile.
Nice.
What have we got there? Damage reduction, okay.
Hey, Princess, I heard the strangest rumor. Here's the thing, I'll give it to you straight. I have heard you've been
Yeah.
both with Megaroth Fury and with that old stiff Thanatos. Can you believe it?
Sisyphus, I don't know where you heard.
I don't know where you heard that, but you're right.
They're just doing their jobs, and I know how it looks.
I know how it looks. You're my friend as well.
I want you to forget that.
Don't make me woo you too, Sisyphus. I'll do it.
Look, I do appreciate the sentiment, Your Highness. I'm just...
Oh, he feels betrayed.
I thought we shared a common foe in them is all. What can I say? I hope that someday I can see them how you see them.
Romantically?
Thank you for understanding.
I feel like maybe I'm misinterpreting something here.
Maybe I can get them to cut you some slack.
Yeah, it's gonna be money pretty much every time from here on out, whenever we see Sisyphus. Wait, really? Already?
I have returned.
That's surprising.
I had a feeling I would find you all alone out here.
Uh-huh. That's really early. I guess I have taken more damage than I normally do on the first floor, but that's really early. What? These are the ones that are really easy to beat Thanatos on, though. Like, really easy. Because the way Thanatos works is he puts, like, that little doom thing, almost like Ares effect. and then it'll come down in one shot. So if you're fighting a bunch of elites, you might not be able to win, but if it's a bunch of enemies that you can one-shot with basic attacks, like, you're not gonna lose. And past the point, too, like here, I could just play... Oops. I was about to say play it really safe. Yeah, you want to take him? Yeah. Thank you. He gives me... yeah. Nice. Puts him in the well. I still do have the, never bought this. Ensure... yeah, why not? It could give me something that isn't helpful, but... if I take the nectar, we'll get a free level up on... it has to be Heartbreak Strike. So it's 5 max HP or extra level. That's probably the way to go. Not if I get grabbed. I would not mind an AoE cast. In fact, one thing I could do is get Dionysus' basic attack as well. Go in for the flurry of punches. Charge up my special and then get a hard-hitting special. Could be something, because then while I'm still preparing, right, we're stacking up the hangover effect. Oh, is that the Trove? Yeah. That should be the shot before the Furies. So it should still give me max HP. We don't even have to do this particularly fast, if we're being honest. Oh, and multi-hits go through armor as well. That's nice. That's part of the reason why I like 300% damage to armor on Excalibur. Because you don't have to deal with wasting too much excess swings. But yeah, we have one boon. A hammer? Special becomes a flying kick. If you can get the opportunity to do this, this is probably really good. I'm just going to do long knuckle.
That's it.
That is a very... The issue is this is a really high multiplier, but it's a common. And if I take longer to find one, it might give me a better opportunity. But I think I'm just going to go for it. It should make this boss fight... What is that blue... I skipped a special looking pot in there. It's Tisiphone again. We haven't even fought Meg. This is gonna be obnoxious. I'm glad I got the extra range. Alright, get in for the cutter. Not bad. Ow. Actually, that did 2 damage. Yeah, I still just think this is the hardest Fury by far. Don't do it. Oh. I missed. The extra range should help us charge up Cutter, though. Right, there's the third phase. Cutter charge and blam. Yep, not too bad. I can see why people like this aspect. I believe when I was looking it up, people said this was their favorite one. Also, some of the other ones just don't feel very good. Alright.
Let's see here.
I could go with a different god. I would genuinely be tempted to do Artemis if I had basic attack. The problem is the duo big synergy between these two is doing more damage on crits to enemies with weak. And the issue that creates is you need a build that has probably crit on basic attack and then something else on special. Probably weak application. Just super weird. Let's go Palm again. I do eventually need to level up all of these keepsakes for the achievement, but I will probably do that on my 0 heat runs. Alright, what do we got? Yeah, I can't do that. I think I've done one of these before, and it just takes you into like a dark room and you fight. It's like another... To me, it looked like another room of the Chaos Realm, but not bad. We have exactly 2 blessings, though, so if we do this correctly, we can funnel levels from our keepsake here into our... Oh. We can funnel levels from our keepsake into our special and attack. But if we're offered a good boon, I probably need to take it. Oh.
Come, wretches.
Oh, you can just hold left click. I didn't know that. It didn't die. Oh, I stepped into lava. I don't think Thanatos can appear more than once in a run.
Gods grant me strength.
I'm super willing to go for that. Special damage will go a long way here. And this is actually perfect too. Because if I take the upgrade boons to the next rarity, it's guaranteed to go on the 2 we have. Orpheus isn't here again. I swear prior to stream, like the last 10 runs I had, he was here.
I get you something for the road there, hon.
Right, where is it? Yep, 2 random boons, next rarity. That's big. Like, that's significant increases. And that's really what the rarity increases do. Just higher percentages. It'd be interesting, I think, if they, like, did something more than that. But I can see why they did it that way. Because I've gotten, like, heroic versions of the boons, and all it does is just, you know, make them do more. And at the end of the day, sometimes in these games, what you need is a stat stick. It's why my favorite character in Isaac is Apollyon. Because you can just stat stick everybody. Demeter. Go Chaos. I do need a call. I really do not like the runs where I end up without one. It feels terrible. Because a lot of the time it's a big chunk of burst. Yeah, sure. We're going to have to be real careful. But that could be good. Reroll this. Zeus cast and call both aren't terrible. Why not? We've avoided him for most of this stream. I wonder if you hit multiple enemies if it counts as charging your cutter up. I was hoping to hit them both there. Oh. This was actually a really good encounter for our chaos, like, negative effect. Because it doesn't... I always do that. I keep thinking I'm out of the shadow, so I'll be fine, but that does have a big AoE. I don't know if I necessarily want the Zeus dash. Let's take this. I don't know how often that will proc, but I just don't know if I necessarily want that. Actually, this run I would not be super averse to getting Athena deflect dash. Nice. The Inferno Bombs do hurt, but I do feel like normally you can work around it. You can definitely get really bad rooms for this chaos effect, though. Like, if you get a billion of the skull enemies, bad time. These just drop too, but you're already not going to stay next to them when they die. Alright. I think we've got a pretty comfortable amount of max health here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get this. We'll grab this. I think this is the last one before Lurney. Yeah. I could have bought the insurance that a Chaos Gate would appear. The big downside here is we do have the firebomb launches for the boss, but this is not one of the effects that I think is super detrimental for this fight. Like, dash distance would be really bad. There are definitely things that would be real bad. I'm really glad we were able to get a high multiplier special, though. And find a way to level it up. Because it feels really bad taking common boons, especially when it's for the god that you are holding the keepsake. Because when you have, like, Aphrodite perk, you're supposed to get higher tier Aphrodite boons, and then we saw a common one. But it just depends. Like, genuinely, if that's the build you're going for, sometimes it's worth just slamming it. I like to knock the armor off of, that's just gonna kill him. Maybe not. Trying to line him up for Meg summon to blast is, I think, a pretty good strategy, but sometimes you get an angle like that where it just doesn't really work. Once again, I've forgotten that I have cast. Alright. Not too bad. We'll take it.
Compensation.
Should still go to full. Let's take Acorn. The only problem is, too, if you take Acorn, you can't take it back, you know? And that's why I usually don't take it until this floor. I could try and be greedy and get more levels, but I think the safe option is here. Because with our current heat mod... Oop, just hit my mic. With my current heat modifiers, literally only this fight at the end of this floor will be modified. Everything else is the same as a 0 heat run. So, I would love to see another hammer. Sure, why not?
More strongbows.
We do get a huge special damage oh! I forgot about that. We are going to get a huge special damage modifier as soon as we finish this fight. I forgot it was both the original kill on this, though, that does the bomb, as well as the little eye here. We've already taken more damage than I would have liked for... Okay, that was just me being dumb. I thought I dashed. I did not. Yeah, that's big. Same choices. I think if you reroll this, it does go perk. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm not crazy. The extra range on basic attack will be nice for the mini chariots if we run into them. Otherwise, I feel like a lot of melee weapons end up being pretty reliant on cast. I missed. Oh. That special multi-hit is like the one thing this aspect has, and I keep missing it. And then, bam.
It's Hermes.
Thought I'd check in again real quick there, boss. Do you want my witty conversation next time or straight?
It's gonna. I can see why. It's fine, Hermes.
Definitely witty conversation, Lord Hermes. Boons are more than welcome.
Ha, good. I like these little chats.
Yeah, it's fine. Ooh. I just always wonder, like, how much of a difference does that make? Because essentially what we're doing is we're moving in, hitting a bunch of times, getting our special, getting out, ideally. I'm just gonna take the movement speed. It's just so hard to tell. Oh, this... Okay. Sometimes they'll explode on their own too, but my special might be charged. I'm not using it on these enemies. That would be a poor life decision. Those I will happily take the one shot on. What's really obnoxious is when that thing makes the little chariots immune and then they just run at you. Okay, nice. Not bad. This chest. Yes, I will take that.
Do not so much as think about it.
Money and health are the two that I think are always going to be worth it. Otherwise, if you're not farming for something, I just wouldn't take the risk. Because here, even if I take some damage, right? Like, I got enough money that at the shop I can buy that health back, plus have a little bit left over. We do need more boons, huh? Looking at the ones we have, the Ares cast and dash summon a Blade Rift The Demeter's just... I don't like the Demeter crystal. I think we go Ares here. I also have one more reroll, but eh. Okay, it's this thing. I should be able to punch it from over... Yeah. I think the main thing with this is going to be, we're going to use our outside enemies here to charge up our special, our cutter, and then fight the main thing in the center. Because the way this fight, like this fight I think is miserable with the bow. Because it's super easy to get overwhelmed by enemies. But I think with almost any other weapon, it's not too bad.
Farewell for now, Sinister Boy. I wish to tell you once again.
I mean, Battle Rage is actually nice. It's just not always useful. Like, all of these are somewhat... Like, it's nice to take the epic one, but 140 damage when I take damage isn't always going to be super helpful. I'm more thinking on boss fights. Battle Rage won't proc on... It'll proc once on Theseus and the Minotaur, right? Hades does summon a decent number of enemies, though. Let's just take a dash perk. I was actually really hoping for Ares call there, but it was not meant to be. This might be a run that we just don't have a call. But when you're dashing around in melee range, it's easy to get those blade rifts in there. It does not look like our special can hit multiple enemies, though, which is a bit disappointing, because they were all clumped right up there. Still good single target damage. I just think that some of the weapons really suffer from lack of options on aspects. Because even the sword, right? Like, that's my favorite weapon right now, but the sword is clearly far and away stronger when you're using the aspect. Oh, you can't hit multiple enemies. What? Maybe I just didn't have them lined up.
Delicious.
Okay. Basic attack. Same as last run, actually. I think special's a higher priority, but didn't offer it to us. This should be a spare shop, but we have 700 gold. Or this is a random blessing.
Well, look at you.
Perfect, okay. That's good crowd control. I don't really like this cast. I'm gonna try this.
I'm all worked up.
I don't think I need to buy that. Let's save the money. Surely this is Minotaur, right? Surely. Okay, never mind. I really don't mind fighting the Minotaur early. I think it's probably the hardest of the early, the elites on this floor for a reason. But the ability to... Oh, I didn't need... Oh. I dashed in and knew I was taking damage there. But having the Minotaur be just ever so slightly weaker when you're dealing with Theseus is nice. I'm a big fan of the Hephaestus hammer we have, though. The extra range makes it easier to get in. This is a tough choice. So Patroclus will either give us, what, basic attack damage or healing, but we have extra healing effects. We did, however, pick up a dash, so more likely than not, Athena would be a cast deflect or the call I'm really bad at using. Basic attack damage for Theseus and Minotaur or Palm. Let's go. Pomegranate's more greedy, but I don't think I really need the healing here. And Patroclus, like, he can give you your Death Defiance back, which, you know, we aren't missing any. The bonus basic attack damage, which is, you know, never a bad thing, and then healing. It is a massive amount of healing, though. Like, if you're ever struggling on Elysium, Patroclus is definitely an encounter you want to see. What else is... Okay, how many of these are there? It's like one of my least favorite encounters if you're not using the gun. If you're using the gun, even the bow I think struggles, to be honest. Yeah, we took a lot of chip damage here. The main reason I didn't go for the healing too is I have the extra healing effect from Aphrodite now. I should be able to go to the last shop and go ahead and do that. I also probably could buy something here. Eh, sure, why not? It's only 30. This is definitely the last thing, but now I feel like I should just take the free Hermes perk and save the money for the Hades floor. Plus, Hermes perks can be really nice. Oh. All of these actually seem pretty good. So Side Hustle is just generally nice for the last floor because every tiny chamber counts. Can get you like an extra pomegranate or an extra boon. Bonus damage based on movement speed. So is that just a straight up 50% bonus damage, or is it 50% from movement speed? Because we have 20% movement speed. So depending on the way that actually works, I'm assuming that's either 10%, half of 20, or it's just that's actually what it is right now. Swift Strike is what I was thinking about earlier, though, in charging our special up. I'm going to try this, but I don't know. It's one of those things where even though you can see damage numbers, without going back through footage, it's kind of hard to tell really how much of a difference something's made. But yeah, bonus attack speed could have been really cool. I think we'll use Meg Call, since it just reminded me that I have that. We'll use it on second phase Minotaur. It should chunk down Theseus and also give us a little bit of damage to work with on the Minotaur. Oop. I'm surprised I didn't lose an Acorn charge there. Or there. That's nice. Oh, that's one. That's another. It's so easy. That's the one downside to the Acorn, is it is very easy to start chain losing the charges. Alright, second phase. Let's get ready to use it. We still don't have a call. Ow. He did that right as I was reaching up for my one. I really do feel like I should be rebinding some stuff. But we're all out of Acorn charges. I need to stop spam dodging on that attack. Because you can definitely get... Oops. You can definitely get away with not... whatchamacallit? Not having to dodge completely away when he does the area slam. But that's usually just what I do. But if I time it correctly... That's probably... I mean, it's better, right? I missed. But I really do think having a damaging call is so good. Because if you finish off Theseus last, I feel like you're so much more likely to have your greater call up to just instantly kill this phase. Yes, Artemis? Okay. Because he kind of just stands still for a second here. And like we did it earlier in stream with Ares Boon. You can really get away with some shenanigans. Ooh, still got hit by that one. That's fine. That fight, I think the big thing is just not the panic. Which I totally did. Because you saw when I got hit. I chain lost like 3 Acorn charges. But we have a lot of money. Hopefully we can get a call here. One of those things. I don't mind not having a cast, because half the time I forget to use it anyways. But... And who knows, really. Our Artemis call on that last Hades fight did make a difference, but it didn't feel too great. Let's go with this. That's fine. The fountain one could have been cool too, but that's fine. Alright, what have we got? Hephaestus Hammer, 110%. I feel like pretty much no matter what you're doing, Hammer takes precedent. The Hammer's just almost always so good. And they're already balanced to be just a standalone perk. It's not like there's multiple levels, right? Whereas other perks you deal with potentially higher reaches, right? If you get heroic versions of perks and whatnot, but just so good. Like, at worst, I feel like they're just neutral sometimes. There is, of course, like, the Arthur aspect that we are seeing, where you cut health for lifesteal. But out of the 3 choices you're given, I just feel like you're never going to sit there and think, wow, I don't want any of these hammer perks. Yeah, I'm glad we invested in our special. Pretty powerful. I can't say I'm like super impressed with it, but it is probably the best feeling path I've found off of this weapon. Which, you know, is still saying, it still counts for something. There's just a reason why it's not my favorite weapon. So we do have it's only a blue tier, but it's one of the highest multipliers, and it is level 4. So what have we got? Charge shot. Oh, that probably just makes it that's a ranged attack. I'm gonna have to take Rolling Knuckle. I literally don't think I've used dash upper this run, which is why I don't like the hitting aspect. And I just don't feel like this is actually that helpful. But dash strike is nice. Oh, I see. That's the swipe. Yeah, I'm totally okay with that.
Got to find something for Cerberus.
Take the pomegranate for sure.
Sharpen my senses.
Alright, what else have we got?
All these tunnels.
Max HP could be good. I'm going to start with the coin, though. I think... Oh, I dashed right into that. I think if this is the treat, I still will have enough to buy that Zeus perk, but I could be wrong. However, this is just a normal Hades fight. Literally no difference, so... I could even be a little greedy if I wanted to. Yeah, it takes some investment, but not bad. Might be a little hard to get it on Hades and oh, I get hit by that poison all the time. I wonder if that poison counts as trap damage. Here it is. And I was very wrong. We do not have anywhere near enough for that Zeus Boon. Hear me out, though. As long as we don't take a whole lot of damage in the last chamber, this should still be a net positive. I would think. What have we got here? Okay. Never mind then. I was gonna say if this was a buff for a certain number of encounters, I guess it had the trap damage buff, but that doesn't really count. It would have lasted to the Hades fight. That thing just got demolished by the... Yep, so did that one. Okay.
I can't.
We just gotta play it safe. We have the extra range. And... Definitely is satisfying. Hopefully we have enough money. I'm actually starting to second guess whether this will give me enough. So I think it was 450 for that boon. Yeah, and this is the last encounter. That's fine. I didn't get hit by that, really? What are you doing up there? It's a dangerous place to be. Oh, this could be bad. I forgot I had a call. I'll be 100% honest. I thought out of the corner of my eye flashing. We still went net positive. But I don't believe that was quite enough gold. I mean, we'll win. I'm just thinking. Do I have a reroll still? I do not. Yeah, let's just go for it. We still went net positive on max HP. I was genuinely thinking I was, what, 42 off? That's okay.
Got this far.
Yeah, ugh.
I'm here, Father. Come on.
I'll probably do at least 1 or 2 more Hades streams. I don't know if I'll practice that 4th fight off stream, because I'm very surprised we were able to first try that. And it was literally only because we had such a massive build that also allowed us to do so much damage from range. If I hadn't had the triple bomb, I don't think I would have had the DPS reliably enough to get away with what we did. Like, there were a lot of factors that really let that run come together. I'm trying to hit from behind when I use my empowered Q there, but it's just not really happening. Hitting multiple enemies, though, is definitely high value. Ah, I got hit there. Yeah, I think it's fine with Dionysus. Maybe to just use it for... Oh, extra damage. We have 2 more Acorn charges. Oh, I did... That's like a very Dark Souls-y thing, though, where you just barely miss the timing on dodge. You know what? Let's save Greater Call. Not really a reason not to. Oh. I missed. That would have... That's fine. Missing your empowered Q feels so bad with this aspect. It's really the big... Oh! I shouldn't be standing next to him. The number of times I've forgotten he does that right out of second phase is actually really sad. My Greater Call is about to pop all of these. Okay. This is bad. No, we're good. Oh, I didn't know that was there. I think it really does go to show, though, like, even once I get some practice on that last fight, the fact that I'm pretty consistently with the Acorn, not even using one Death's Dance, or Death's Defiance, sorry. Death's Dance is an item in League. That's not good. Okay. It's bad when he, that ended up being okay. When he gets the, whatchamacallit. Oh, I'm getting hit here, yeah. When he gets the, green little base thing, and you're right behind the pillar, because there's only so many places you can go. It hurts. But not too bad. I actually do think on a melee weapon I may need all 3 charges of Death Defiance. So we're gonna need a clean Theseus and Minotaur fight. Although, didn't we have 1 left on our first attempt? Not sure.
My father's name.
It's not too bad. We raised it. Best is 6. Was I at 6? Oh, right, I overcapped because we were at 4. I hate this spear. So much. So much.
Having ventured successfully much farther than before, the surface
What time is it?
prints
About 5:30.
setbacks.
Let's go ahead and do one more run. We'll use our hated weapon. Maybe next couple of streams, though, we'll just really focus on heat grinding with the sword and the gun. But for now, might as well get those rewards.
You should have been there, Hypnos.
He slept through the whole thing. Here's this. This is probably the, Oh, no. This is epilogue talk.
For now, I think it is.
Yes, indeed.
Bye, Than.
That's what I was talking about, though, is like... for a long time, I was only on Thanatos maybe around here. Because I didn't know what the trigger was for him to appear, which is taking damage apparently multiple rooms in a row. And so he wasn't appearing for me, and when he did, there was like 5 times in a row he was talking to Hypnos, to Persephone, to Hades. It was really odd. Oh, wow. Orpheus is going hard today.
I waived the punishment sentence for Sisyphus the Knave King
I
next.
still haven't told her about that. That was like 15 runs ago.
Tartarus, I think in part because he likes getting to speak with me from time to time.
That sounds to be an agreeable
Hmm.
outcome for him.
Yeah.
I look out for him. He certainly looked out for me.
Do I need to... It doesn't look like I need to talk to her. Alright, let's see. How many attempts am I at? 89. Good old 90. 90th attempt then.
Say Skelly, or should I say Skelemius?
Skelemius?
To have a chat with somebody familiar with that name. Large bull-headed fellow.
You said you made it up.
You said you made it all up. What's going on?
Never said I made it up, pal. I just said you weren't gonna believe me. I mean, look at me. I look like a captain at a Cretan second fleet to you?
Huh.
I don't know. I've never met one. Do they all just stand around doing nothing?
That's so passive-aggressive for no reason.
Well, sounds like somebody's never
Jeez.
had to lead like 50 or something sailors in a...
Wait, what about Hermes? He
Hmm.
gave me the impression you might have...
What is it with you gods talking behind the backs of all your friends, boyo?
Don't change the subject.
Don't change the subject.
Ah.
Jeez.
Should take my spear.
So when it comes to spear aspects, though, even I think with the fully leveled Guan Yu, it just won't be good. I don't use my spin attack as much as I should. Aspect of Achilles is fun. It also gets you into a lot of trouble on Asphodel. And then, just, I mean, what? Punishing Sweep.
Felt all 3 points on that spear, pal.
Oh. Oh my. That's such a large range. What? I was just going to go Aspect of Zagreus, but that's... I take it back. Guess we're doing this. I'm actually... I think I saw a lot of people saying that they just used Aspect of Zagreus for the quick little spear throw damage. But I'm totally willing to do that.
I'll take it. I need the Titan blood.
I have more than enough Ambrosia. Maybe eventually I'll go for those super high ones, but that's also part of the point in doing these runs. Is getting the extra, you know, resources that you wouldn't get if you were doing just one weapon.
You are as multifaceted as anyone I know.
That's big. Okay, I actually think I might go for crit damage build. Initially with the spear, because it's a fast attacking weapon, I sometimes go for other effects that are quick applying. But let's try going full crit on this. Do the Artemis Aphrodite build, ideally. A weird spot. Sure, why not? I can do this exact thing for 4, 5, and 6.
Ready.
We did it last run with the fists when we only needed to go to 5.
I don't know what it is about you, Zagreus, but I feel like I...
Okay, what do we got? We did not get... Okay. I'm aware that these are higher ranking. I'm actually going to go Dash Strike. Oh, apparently we fulfilled the requirements to get Artemis's bond. Interesting. Oh, I was about to jump in the center and do a spin attack. I would have to assume the spin attack goes off your basic attack modifier, which is what I was shooting for there. But we still just have the basic spear chuck. The thing is, it just doesn't do much damage. Even with special boons, I feel like it really is, and even with the aspect of Zagreus, I feel like the spear throw is just there to kind of take out weak enemies. Which there's still something to be said for. It's good against, like, the chariots, right? But it's still just, like... I really like this spin range. I do wish it charged up like like an instant earlier. Let's go Chaos Gate. I feel like I never have the Chaos keepsake when I go Chaos Gate. Mostly because I never take it. Boons for higher chance, dash. Yep, I think it's dash range. I could really be, like, careful, right? With how many times I attack and just use my spear for 3 encounters. For the extra boon rarity. And this early on, that is meaningful. Because there's still so much of the run left. But, you know. To give me dash attack. I don't need that. I'm not really feeling the Dionysus here. No. Do I want Ares? I really like the Ares call. I wouldn't mind having Doom on my special either. You know what? There are reapplication of Doom perks. But sometimes just having on something like... Because we talk about how weak the special kind of feels on this weapon regardless. That could be what gives me the extra little oomph. Is you chuck the spear, pull it back, and it applies Doom. Of course, assuming that's what it gives me here. Okay, it didn't, but I'll take the call.
Kill or be killed.
Take some money. It feels like a waste to use your reroll on these consumable rooms, but at the same time, like, the ability to get either 5 max HP or something else is not meaningless. I'm gonna need to get better with the timing on this charge attack. Was that again? Yeah, that's helpful. I don't believe we've gone far enough in this floor, right? Yeah, that's what I thought. If the whatever gift you get from a room is just sitting there, then, you know, that's when. Unless it's the well room, which you even had to do renovations to get. It's just that split second of having to stand still in front of the enemy, but it hits so hard. If I was thinking if I get crit and that crits, it's gonna hurt.
I bet Charon's going to want all this.
Max HP. One big downside to it is one big hit, so I can't imagine, like if I did it when armor was just barely there, I can't imagine I'd get much value out of it. Maybe if you bait out an attack like that. Hold on. What's something on this? Becomes punishing sweep. That's what I thought. It's also more damage.
Good.
Yeah, Ares. I don't necessarily want Doom on my basic attack. I mean, if I got a really high rarity one, I'd consider it, but... To be honest, the Doom reapplication builds I've done more on, like, base sword before I had Aspect of Arthur. I wouldn't do it on, the Hidden Aspect, though, just because the Hidden Aspect is so heavily based around just hitting really hard a couple times. And the Doom does work well with that, but... Alright, we got it. It's 80 damage extra. Here's our Hephaestus Hammer. I really do wonder. I feel like I've never gotten more than, like, 3. Not counting the fact that you can get the little... You can get an anvil that lets you trade one in and get 2 random Hephaestus boons. Although I also don't think I've seen more than one of those. What do we got? You know, this one actually is pretty fun. When you're holding your spin attack with your spear above your head, you take less damage and you do a little bit of AoE around you. I feel like in practice that isn't the most useful thing. I do not want to lower my dash range. Let's just take the generally... I mean, just generally helpful boon here. Is there cheap healing here? No. Oh, a Hermes boon. That's nice. What do we got? I really like Hyper Sprint, but Side Hustle this early on is going to be high value. I'm just going to take this because I don't want the Crystal Beam, and I feel like I can do better on basic attack. It doesn't even have to be Artemis, but I can do better than 40% on a common. Oh, we finally get to fight Meg.
I guess we know the drill by now.
Oh, I dashed right onto the trap. I've done that so many times. I should have dashed the other way there too. Is she sitting on the trap? Did it proc more than once? Oh, okay. Taking a fair amount of damage here. Part of it's just my mistakes too. I'm just gonna do this. She was impervious, but I didn't want to... Oh, I thought I had another charge. She was impervious there, but that still allowed me to get in closer and not take as much damage. So I'll take it.
No hard feelings.
Yeah. What have we got?
At least the Fury sisters are on better terms.
Don't mind me.
What boons do we have?
Which one?
Not the greatest build. I just still don't know what you even do with the spear, to be honest. Like, it's just... There's a reason it's my least used weapon by a long shot. I'm almost even tempted to stay with Artemis and try and get a really high crit multiplier still. Yeah, why not? Usually here I'd either switch to Bloom, the Palm Blossom, or get some free money. Because I just don't feel like you need the Acorn for Lurny. But, we'll see. It's all for nothing if we don't see more Artemis Blessings, but... Hey, this'll give me a reroll. We can just aggressively reroll for Artemis perks. Could work. Maybe. Is it just this? I could have also taken the keepsake that buffs your attack if you don't have a boon for it. I keep telling myself I should try that one, and then I never do. Alright. This. I'm not doing that. Do I need more max HP? I feel like when Hades is buffed, we're going to need more, like a decent chunk more HP. But for a normal Hades fight, I think like 175 or so is fine. The issue is, in terms of what this could realistically buff, I mean, I'd probably take either call increase or dash strike damage. I'm just going to go for the max HP now. This is probably not going to be a very strong run, but it doesn't need to be. So definitely the ideal thing, though, is to open up on enemies with the spin attack. And then just chop into bits. I wonder if that would have affected the pulsing hammer perk that we decided against. That could have been interesting. There's so many little interactions in roguelikes that I always find super fun, that you just may not run into if you don't try. Oh. I'm not really using my special Doom a whole lot either, to be honest. Okay, I'll take it. Chaos Portal or Hermes? Ooh. I do love me a good Chaos Portal, but I gotta go for this. There's a high chance we take a ton of damage. The question is, do we take Artemis first and just immediately try and open up with our basic attack that we're looking for? Or do we take Ares first and try and lower the chance that, like, cast appears? I think it's this.
Bless you, Zagreus.
Yeah, I'll take it. Seeking Arrow is always cool, but I was hoping with our keepsake it'd be a higher rarity. But it's okay. Ares, it's the god of war. Like, Don't know if that's the person you want to be saying. Well, hoping they'll forgive you. I'm really appreciating the extra range on our attack here. Oh, there's so many enemies here. I haven't even been playing with the modifier for more enemies. Oh, jeez. There's a funny achievement you can get for using a greater call against the god you're fighting in a duoboon. Now that I think about it. It's pretty funny because they still help you. They don't even just not do it, they still help you. This is a good one, I'm just not using it super often. That Defiance we haven't even been using, but it is helpful for the Hades fight and the Theseus fight, potentially. Let's take Impending Doom. And I'll just try to more actively throw my spear once in a while. We don't have enough money. Can you reroll the shop? No.
I won't have it.
We ideally need to reroll for someone that we would use their cast.
So.
That's fine too. We were just talking about how we need to aggressively look for... What's the boat? I'll look for Artemis perks. If we're gonna keep the keepsake, like, you gotta, I think. Because the keepsakes for each god is essentially... They're good for guaranteeing you get that god's perk and trying to get better versions of it. When we're critting, our DPS isn't too bad. It is not... Ow. It is not going to be Aspect of Arthur level. But it's still not bad. Like, I'll take it. And that Doom damage isn't so bad. It's only the blue version level 1.
Oh, yes.
But that stacked with everything else is working pretty well. I'm tempted. I am actually tempted. How often are we critting? It's on our basic attack. These two would work, but let's try this.
On the prowl.
The God Gauge is just always so nice. I don't know, again, how easy it is to measure how fast that's going to be helping. Aside from just generally seeming how often you're taking the how often you're getting the ability to use God Gauge. But whenever you have crit on your basic attack, it's nice. But the mark is also really good.
How many more of these are there?
I wonder if there's another way to keep increasing the range on spin attack. Because I thought there was a Hephaestus hammer that did that. But it might be a hammer that they don't make available to you on this weapon because of how broken it could be. Let's just take the reroll chance here. Oh, almost ran straight into that trap. I ran into that. What do we got? I'm actually kind of surprised we haven't seen Thanatos here because I'm taking a lot of chip damage. I feel like more than any other floor, I'm going to take chip damage in Asphodel. What else is alive? Oh. Alright. Let's see, what have we got? I do believe this is the last thing we get prior to fighting Lerny. I could go shop, buy a blessing and some healing. Max HP might be nice. I'm gonna go really greedy here. I think the greediest of the three options here is to save the money and go Hermes perk. So that's what we'll do. Alright, what have we got? After using a call... So the issue with it is with Ares call, when you go greater call, you're already invulnerable for 5 seconds anyways. I don't necessarily care about quick reload. If anything, I'd rather them stay in the enemy. So I think it's this. The movement speed, though, does help with getting around. Let's just take greater evasion. Might not have been the correct call, but I feel like the movement speed and dodge and whatnot is really good when you have a call like Dionysus, like Zeus, that doesn't make you already untouchable for a certain amount of time. Alright, where the... Oops. Oh, nice. Perfect. I need to stop dashing into the lava. Let's save the blade rifts for the next, Is there a head still alive? Oh, okay. Sometimes that invuln lasts for like a little bit longer and I'm just super confused. Alright, here we go. We have our Hades call, and we have Meg. That was an okay lineup. Our last few attempts, it's actually only hit like one head, so I'll take it. Definitely a lot going on during this phase of the fight, but I don't think it's too bad most of the time. I would not be opposed to getting more Ares boons at this point. Stumbling over my words. But that was a pretty good fight. We lost like, what, like 40 health? I think we had 130 something going in there. We definitely need some increases to DPS though, otherwise next two boss fights are going to be pretty miserable. Can the Hydra take feedback? It's a Hydra. Huh. Ooh, hammer. What we got? I just feel like with the spears too, sometimes I'm a little bit too greedy with trying to get spin attacks off, and then I just get clobbered. But that's why I honestly thought the Guan Yu aspect would be good, but cutting your max HP and healing just hurts so bad. I don't even think it would be as bad if it didn't cut healing as well. It's the fact that it does both. Because even with the level up, I just don't think it's worth it. Hold special for up to 200. Okay, so that's a charged spear toss. We're really only using spear for dealing with distant enemies and the Doom proc. Well, all of them are specials. Let's see. Critical chance on recovery isn't bad. We do have some critical effects. Mostly just the God Gauge, I guess. Let's try Chain Skewer, though.
Perfect.
The extra crowd control should be nice. And let's look for some pomegranates. We have almost none. I think maybe I misunderstood how that would work. Maybe they have to be closer. Nope, they just had to be closer. Well, yeah, that's what it was, but... The primary reason I got that one is I was worried about... I mean, even with our basic attack range, it might have been okay. I just feel like if I'm gonna take chip damage on this floor, it's either me being stupid with the attacks on enemies, or it's the tiny chariots blowing up. I have a lot of money. Let's go get some more. Genuinely, even if I lose one or two Death Defies on Theseus and the Minotaur, when the Hades fight isn't modified, I don't think it's a problem. We're actually pretty good at getting rid of the witch projectiles here. That's always nice. It really doesn't feel like we're charging up our god gauge that often. Which could be just a statement on how much we're critting. It could be a number of things. There are, you know, perks that make crits more guaranteed. Here's our Ares perks. This one? Okay. We have the range, I think, and still have at least the damage to make sure we don't spawn too many things here. I really don't like things, this encounter when you're using the bow. I think it's so easy to lose control of it. Admittedly, I am kind of regretting taking the Ricochet. I thought it would be really cool. I don't think I would have sat down and used a charge special, but the crit chance on pullback could have been good. Just take this. Just a flat bonus to everything. We need some pomegranates. Oh, here's where this... That does not do as much damage as I thought. It's a good thing we have the Doom perk. It probably is better just to deal with these with our high range basic attack. That's the problem with some synergies though too in roguelikes, is sometimes it's a really cool synergy that works well, but you may have something that just works better. And this will be the regular part of these enemies, where I just smack the shield over and over till it dies. Right. So we can get 4% damage on everything, or 6% on basic attack. That's probably what we're going to use. Patroclus? Okay. I'm actually more than willing to take the damage here.
Have a visitor. Good. There you are, stranger. Settle something for
The Champion of Elysium. I think almost anyone would be better than the current one. I do think that's correct. But this version of Achilles is very humble. And he still has his work with us. That is also true. It's probably a lot of work.
I too would vastly prefer having to with Theseus rather
Yeah.
than yourself, Achilles. Although that's...
It seems then I am overruled.
Yeah. No, don't get me wrong. He'd be great in the role, but do you really want to fight Achilles over Showboat McGee? I really don't like Theseus. I think it's a funny portrayal they did. It makes me laugh, the whole, we made a golden mask that only a fool would wear. And then you just run up, and Theseus is just proudly wearing it. Super funny stuff. I do wonder, though. Maybe that's something they'll implement in Hades 2. Like changing bosses more than just the mechanics with the Pact the Punishment, but actually like different bosses. They kind of do that, I guess, with the Furies. But even then, you know, the one you're not fighting will often come in and support the one that you are. I do need to be careful on this chip damage. I say as I get shot. Again. Dang. Alright, hopefully we get either a fountain or a shop here. The Ricochet, I will say, does make it easier to ensure that Doom proc hits. So there's that. We have so much money. Maybe I should just start playing it safe. I could just... It's just really not a super strong run, if we're being honest. Not the worst one I've beaten the game with, but... It feels like all we really have going for us are the extra range basic attacks. And... the big range on that sweep there. The crit is nice, it just... It doesn't feel quite as explosive as it does on the Arthur sword, but that's just because, again, that weapon has such high base damage, it's ridiculous. Here we go. Gotta get rid of the invuln crystals for sure. Oh, I got hit. I saw that arrow, I looked at it, thought I need to dodge that, and did not dodge in time. Maybe I should have gone for the Patroclus healing, for being honest. There's also always a chance if we use a Death Defied to get it back from one of the fountains. We have to go shop here. I have no doubt that this is, yeah, the last one. Most of our health back. Sure. What have we got, Poseidon? It's a little bit late for that. This cast is really good, I think, in small rooms, but let's just take this. It's not going to do us much good here in this fight or the Hades fight. It is, however, really good on the Hades floor. Oh yeah, that's true, the Doom Ricochet will hit both of them. I can hit... I have some good range. It's right on the edge, so I probably won't risk it. Let's actually do this early. Don't charge out of that. Thank you. Oh, goodness. Oh. On the Minotaur, I think that's the only time we're going to get the spin attack off, is right after it crashes into something. Shot there, I got hit there too. Like, there's some time in between attacks, but that's probably the safest time to do it. I'm taking too much damage. Well, not damage, but I'm losing my resists. Oh, we didn't do the slam that time. This is a bad spot. Yep, this is a really bad spot to be in. I should have used Call. I just get so greedy in boss fights thinking, let's go for Greater Call. Yeah, I'm thinking this might be a Death Defied kind of attempt. This is an ugly Theseus fight. Oh boy. I just really hate to use... We could... If I use it now, right, I probably won't have another full God Gauge. Maybe if I use it on cooldown. The issue is I know I can pretty much insta-kill Theseus out of second phase if I do this correctly. I got hit by that. That hurts. That's okay though. It's our, what, 4th run, and it's the first time we've lost a Death Defied to anyone other than Hades. And it's literally with my least favorite weapon. Although it is on a low heat level. Well, low comparatively. Yeah, I was probably too greedy with God Call. That's fine. Can we go for the sweep? He's so upset every time he loses his chariot. I mean, it was a cool looking chariot. It was a dumb looking mask, but it was a cool looking chariot. Alright, he's dead to Doom. Not too good.
Finally.
Yeah. I think just once you start get swept in attacks from those two, it's super easy to just take so much damage. And that's a big theme with this game. Is if you keep it controlled, it's not too bad. But once you start to lose control, it's pretty bad.
One last stop.
We might get a chance to buy back a Death Defiance use though. And honestly, with how weak this run is, it could be helpful. Just not going too hot.
I've reached the surface.
What have we got? I am super down for some Ares perks. Hermes could be good. We have our side hustle this run. So there's a better chance of us buying a lot of stuff. Sure.
The war is on.
Just keep upgrading that. How much money do we have now? 500? Actually, why not? Yeah. Faster movement speed's nice, but with the way I play, could be good. Actually, all of these things are really good. I think the only thing I'd consider rerolling is this. Let's go safety first. I almost ran straight into that blade again. That would have been stupid. Although very characteristic of me. They'll die eventually. I think that sweep seems a lot bigger too when you're in a smaller room because it covers like everything.
It's no use.
Ow. This is where our chain Doom application should help. It's not doing super impressive damage, but, you know, I suppose safety first. And we really didn't invest into our Doom effects. With Ares, it's almost entirely going to be Doom or Blade Rift. Doom builds, though, genuinely can be really fun and very powerful. You just... All of the gods do better, right, when you invest more into them, but it is genuinely a build you have to invest really heavily into. What else is appearing? I just always watch out for those shamans. Which it doesn't look like any are going to appear. Unless... I should not have jinxed myself. And now I'm poisoned. Oh boy. It's always the last room in these chambers that you take damage from. With the 3 health gain per room, I feel like you generally go net positive otherwise. I just got poisoned again, and the only healing's all the way over here. I should go back to just throwing my spear. It's definitely low DPS, but it's safer, because I can get behind pillars. At least until that thing's dead. There we go. I have Blade Rift, let's just... Alright. Not clean, but we got max HP out of it. I'll take it. The question is, too, do I really want to fight an elite for an Artemis Blessing? With the coins here, too, I don't know how much of a difference it will make, because we're already guaranteed to get one of these two things. It's just a question of whether or not the coin would help us get enough to get both, which I actually don't think will be the case. I just really don't like fighting the elites on this floor. You have the tiny rat that just dashes around and has a ridiculous amount of HP. You have the really big one of those things we just killed. And I believe there's a really big rat. Ow. Stop. There's not good cover on this stage. Stop that. Or this room. What have we got? That is not what I was expecting.
The power of the gods.
I mean, that's a pretty hefty upgrade. I'm still taking that.
Should I go
Yep.
find some satyrs to get out of here?
I think I would have to do the coin room
I can use this.
and another path with side hustle to get enough for that Ares boon. And with what's left, I just... these could be really cool, but we now know for certain we have to fight an elite. I think the best thing, honestly, to do is just go for it. There you go, Cerberus.
See you, boy.
What have we got?
You're looking very stately there, Father.
I feel like we're not seeing many fishing spots unless I'm missing them.
I recognize its presence now. That's not just...
You mean once you chopped up your cruel and overbearing Titan parents?
You know, in Record of Ragnarok, once again, Hades does use a spear.
Perhaps the fates decide...
I wonder if that's... I guess that's maybe a bit spoilery. Sorry. Ah. I'm glad we have all these dashes in our... That's part of the reason why I thought let's take Dash Strike. Because we're going to be spamming Dash Strike a lot. Oh, there's a fishing spot here. Oh. I literally thought to myself, hey, I should use my spear hook. I wound up to throw it and immediately got hit. All things considered, our DPS on Hades is not as low as I thought it was. It's definitely not high. We have 3 reflects still. When you can get that debuff down, it is a noticeable amount more DPS too, which is nice. I thought the Ricochet would be a lot better than it was. I think it's performing better too, because I have Doom. So I have an effect that it really benefits from just getting in, hitting once, and getting out. I've heard you can do similar chain builds with the shield throw aspect on Zeus perk, which is funny, because I think that aspect is literally called the aspect of Zeus. I don't think you necessarily have to deal with all of the skulls in this fight, I just think it's the safe thing to do. I'm just gonna Greater Call. Not bad. I could have been a bit more greedy there. I thought I was going to get hit out of it. Another resist down. This is painful. This is genuinely a painfully slow run. Ooh. I didn't know there was a skull in that corner. That's our last resist down. Use that so I didn't get hit pretty hard there. Ooh, I probably should have gotten hit there, for being honest. Oh. Just one of those builds where you need to find that timing to get the spin attack in. Probably just comes with muscle memory. It's a shame we didn't have a good dash effect with how many times in a row we can dash. Dash Strike has been helpful, don't get me wrong. But if I had something like laying down riffs on dash or something,
like that,
definitely could have made use of it. We have 2 Death Defieds. Gotta keep that in mind. That was just me being stupid. I could have saved this for this specifically, that's fine. Yeah, still lasted. I got hit out of it. I think we'll be okay. Of the runs we've done today, though, this is far and away, like, the worst performing run I've had, which is sad, given that this is not the highest heat we've been doing. But I feel like the laser beam, it hurts really bad when you get caught in it, for sure, because it ticks for, like, 20 damage a hit. But I think it's really only super dangerous when you haven't cleared out the green bases and some other stuff, where it puts you between a rock and a hard spot. Otherwise, I think it's just not too bad. Alright, here's another phase. Oh. Is that not really? Just need to... Realistically, to prep for that beam attack, you just need to make sure to clear out the ones right next to one of the pillars. And then just play around that pillar. I don't know if I should be... Oh. Maybe I should be using Ares Boon here. I'm thinking about saving for a Greater Call, because if we get Greater Call, right, that ends the fight. For certain, but probably not necessary looking at the health Hades has left. The way I view the Hades fight too, since it's the last fight in a run, is at what point can you basically just space tank, right? Because there comes a point where if Hades is at like a quarter HP and you have 2 or 3 death defies, you can't lose the fight as long as you keep swinging. But, ugh, that was rough.
I shall see you back at home. I cannot remain.
Yep. It was an ugly run. I do think that's probably my favorite of the spear aspects. Which isn't saying much, but it's something. The other one is... the Zagreus aspect isn't bad. You can really do a special build. Especially if you were to get, like, the... some of the aspects we saw from Hephaestus. Where you just charge up that spear, huck it. You can do some cool stuff with it. But you have to build specifically for it. I really thought the crit dash strike build would feel a little bit better than that. It still felt incredibly low DPS. I did not feel strong at any point during that run. But overall, what matters is the completion.
Showed you that time, Father.
Everyone is back.
But I was curious. I thought some of the Olympian gods were supposed to show up here.
So impressed with what you've managed to accomplish, lad. When I was closer to your age, what the age you appear to be, all I wanted was glory, to be remembered forever. Look where that got me. I'm glad you know better than I did.
So in pursuing glory, you think you lost
I mean,
it?
yeah, I was gonna say, even if he died, Achilles is a name that passed down in legend.
A foolish war. Glory comes to those driven to excel in worthwhile pursuits. A happy side effect, not a goal unto itself. Though you don't need for me to tell you that.
Yeah.
If not for all your training and advice, I wouldn't have come this far.
I wonder if Achilles will be the one to train the Hades 2 protagonist as well, and why they don't show up at all in this game. But behind it being a sequel. I wonder if there will either be an explanation for why she doesn't appear, because it could just be that, you know, if we're fighting Kronos, and she shows up, maybe she was born to Persephone and Hades, as Zagreus' sibling, once all of this kind of peace and epilogue started. I'm sure there'll be some explanation, it's just fun to speculate.
Festivities are over with. It's back to work like this, the same as ever.
Do you have any idea what happens when you announce the underworld as a queen, boy? Damn it.
Well wishes.
Zagreus, I mean.
Oh no.
You become inundated with well wishes from every blasted shade that wants something.
Ulterior motives.
You're responding to well wishes? Aw. Don't you think some of your subjects are sincerely happy for you?
The work, nevertheless, has to be done.
And we have a discussion. I think there's usually a discussion with Meg when she's the one you fight.
Officially now, doing their part to help the family business finally. Lord Hades probably never thought he'd see the day. Right? You know what I mean.
Seems only fair they should help in some capacity. They all work together on the surface, and let's face it, they're responsible for a good number of shades pouring into this realm. Least they can do is help shore up the whole there is no escape reputation we've got.
By making you unfairly.
So I wonder for a normal mortal in this kind of world base, if they were to somehow fight past everyone, you would assume maybe Hades wouldn't actually show up personally to stop them. So what is the chance of, like, you know... Oh, we have Thanatos romance.
Thanatos, I'd ask you to come in, but you're already here.
Okay.
It's really good to see you.
Let me finish my thought, though. So I'm wondering, right, if a normal human from Elysium was already 2 rows up, they don't have to fight out of Asphodel, they don't have to fight out of the original floor. If they get past Theseus, maybe past Cerberus, right? Is that how they get reincarnated? Because I remember in some versions of Greek mythology, they have to get to Elysium, you either have to have great, great deeds or have multiple good lives, right? I think it varies depending. I don't know if there's like an official explanation, right, behind those beliefs. But I do wonder.
Just tell me.
But I'm glad we got the Thanatos romance here. I think there's one more scene. We'll go through with it. You can either be friends with one or both of them, or I think romance both at the same time. Yeah, sure.
Just don't mean to push you, Than. I know all this.
Why not see everything there is to see, you know?
I wanted you to know this isn't some impulsive thing for me. I'll wait for you however long it takes.
I will say if I didn't know that you can have a relationship with both Thanatos and Meg, I probably wouldn't have
No concept of which impulses to act
done
upon
both,
and
because
which
you'd
have
think
been checked.
one might be mad.
You say you're
But this
waiting
is
for
Greek
me, ask you
mythology
this.
after all, so
What are you waiting for?
I guess it's not super surprising.
What are you waiting for? I'm here already.
I wish we got a scythe weapon. I think that would have been cool.
Fun.
Although, to be fair, maybe not super different from spear or something.
Megara's been here too.
I've known Megara much longer than you.
Oh.
Nothing talked me into this.
Huh, she did she? That's good.
It's good. That's good. Because I didn't ask for permission once. And technically, at this point in this save file, we're already in a relationship, but... You know. It's pretty funny. Oh. Later.
Look, speak up already. I don't like it when you're quiet for too long.
I do wonder, though. So many things. I'm so excited for Hades 2. It's one of the games that I've been looking forward to for a while. Because I knew it was going to come out. Same thing with Binding of Isaac 2. I knew it'd be here eventually. But to think that Hades originally went to early access, what, 6 years ago? And then fully released 4 in 2020? I don't know at what time. It's crazy.
A lot of things, and you will have to grow.
But that's part of it. People rush, certain game franchises. But sometimes it's best to wait and make sure the finished product is good. Hopefully.
Get going though. I'm way behind on work.
And there's other series too. Diablo 4 took like a decade to come out. Although they did keep up with Diablo 3. But a lot of people disliked what happened. Sometimes it's just the timing too. If Diablo 4 had come out earlier or later, it might not have been so heavily microtransaction based. And I've heard that people really liked. Like, I have friends that still like Diablo 4, that I played Diablo 3 as a group with. A lot of good times there, but... Anyways, guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and call the stream there. Last run was kind of ugly, but we did get to see the epilogue. We got to see the rest of the Thanatos romance. And we did still get every run done. I will probably go ahead and hold off streams. I'm thinking about what I'm doing this week. I'd like to stream more often. I could stream during the afternoons and mornings on the days I have class. I've thought about that a lot. I need to get a good stream schedule pinned down. But I think for now we'll plan for either Friday or Saturday. I know you can actually just full on schedule streams. Not the best about that, but it'll probably be Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm hoping at least 2 of those 3 days. I don't think there's anything more to stream in Star Rail Genshin, but Wednesdays are a good day for those because new banners and new patches go live Tuesday nights. So a lot of times doing that Wednesday afternoon works really well. But for now, unless I'm forgetting something with one of those games, let's plan for a a Hades stream Friday, Saturday. And thanks for everyone who stopped by. It's fun talking with people. I know I'm definitely not the only one excited for Hades 2. And I will catch you guys next time. Bye.